We thank you for your patience as we work diligently to piece together what led to Gannon's disappearance. Our speakers today will be Sheriff Bill Elder, Lieutenant Mitch Mahako, FBI Denver Division Dean Phillips, District Attorney Dan May, and Senior Deputy they have received today. Sheriff Elder.
Thanks, Jackie. Welcome, everybody. Today marks 5 weeks since the investigation into the disappearance of Gannon Stauch. We're holding the press conference to update you on some significant developments.
Sheriff Elder.
While we've yet to locate Gannon this morning, just after 8 o'clock a.m. East Coast time, Letitia Stauch was taken into custody in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina without incident by law enforcement officers from the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, the Denver and Columbia divisions of the FBI, the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina Police Department, the Horry County, South Carolina Police Department, and Sheriff's Office. Letitia will be held without bond in the J. Reuben Long Detention Center in Horry County, South Carolina, where she will remain until she's extradited back to Colorado Springs on the following charges. Charge 1, murder in the first degree of a child under 12 years of age by a person in a position of trust. Child abuse resulting in death. Tampering with a deceased human body and tampering with physical evidence. I cannot stress enough what a difficult time this has been for Gannon's family. Like Jackie said, they've provided a written statement, but they will not, and they won't be providing any interviews at this time. And I ask that you protect their privacy. This has been a rapidly developing and highly complex investigation, and it underscores the importance of teamwork in the law enforcement agents in our community. While our hope is always that tragic cases like this never happen, it is precisely why the extremely close relationships we enjoy with our local, state, and national law enforcement partners becomes the most important. The list of people from around the country that have worked many, many long hours and invested themselves so deeply is long and impressive. I offer my sincere thanks to each and every one of you for all that you've done in the investigative efforts so far. The safety of the citizens of this community is the top priority to all of us standing before you today. We'd like to thank the thousands of members of this community for your compassion, your kindness, and your thoughtfulness, your generosity, and your support while we've taken on the tireless search efforts over the past 5 weeks. On behalf of the Sheriff's Office, all of the investigators, the staff, the volunteers involved in this investigation from all over the United States, we'd like to express our deepest sympathies to Gannon's family and friends. There is no way to express the depth of our sympathy and our heart's grateful to you. But I make this promise: this team will continue its work. These partners will remain steadfast and diligent until the conclusion and final prosecution of this case. We will not stop. This investigation has only begun. Letitia's arrest photograph will be made available to the media as soon as we can following the press conference. Jackie will have the details, and then I will turn the microphone over to Lieutenant Mitch Mahako.
Come here, Zeke.
Good afternoon. We will not be going into detail about the information investigation which ultimately resulted in the arrest of Keisha. I can tell you that this has been a methodical and time-consuming multi-state operation with investigators working nearly around the clock to find Gannon. There have been thousands of hours of investigation and search efforts. This includes large-scale searches, in addition to small, specific searches with drones, horses, canines, and other resources. While we have not yet found Gannon, information has been developed that is helping us narrow our search. As you can see from the arrest, sadly, we do not believe Gannon is alive. Our work is only just beginning. We will continue to see many law enforcement officials in El Paso County over the coming weeks and possibly months as we continue our relentless pursuit of justice for Gannon and his family. On behalf of the investigators and staff involved in this investigation, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and the friends. The death of a child is something no parent should ever have to endure. This case has not just been an investigation for us. This case has become very personal and will forever remain in our hearts. We will continue to work closely with the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office, the FBI, and other partners to the conclusion of this investigation. At this time, I'd like to turn this over to FBI Denver Division Special Agent in charge of the facility.
Thank you for being here today. On behalf of the men and women of the FBI, all the special agents, investigative analysts, support staff, and sports officers, express our deepest condolences to the families, the friends, and the loved ones of you. To the press, I also ask that you give the family space and time in order to process the information that they're dealing with now. To the community, thank you for your patience and understanding, for your assistance, and for the support you provided to the law enforcement as we have worked through this investigation. The law enforcement community, I want to recognize in particular the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, the Colorado Springs Police Department, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, our partners, our task force partners in Pueblo PD, Pueblo County Sheriff's Office, and the Colorado State Patrol. All of these agencies have worked tirelessly and seamlessly together throughout this investigation. Although this is not the outcome for which we had hoped, we continue to work this aggressively, and we will continue to work it through to the end. As far as the FBI is concerned, we brought significant resources to bear, to include agents, special agents, investigative analysts, technical support, evidence response teams, and behavioral analysis unit support. But we are not done. We will be here with our partners to the end. We will continue to help law enforcement and the prosecutors see this to the very end. And know this, when it comes to the loss of a child, the FBI will always bring all available and logical resources to bear to help our law enforcement partners when called. We will answer the call. To the community, I want to tell you that at this point, all the evidence points to Gannon's disappearance being the result of foul play, but we have no reason to believe that there is any information or intelligence indicating a threat to other children in the community. Thank you very much.
This is not the outcome that anybody here wanted. We wish today, as we were standing here, that we had little Gannon with us to be able to present to our community he's still alive and doing well. Unfortunately, that's not the situation. As you've heard, an arrest warrant was issued for first-degree murder of Gannon in this case. Unfortunately, we've had to get to know the family now as part of our prosecution family, and they'll be with us for the next many months going forward. It's an unfortunate thing that we are here today. I do want to thank all those who've been involved. The FBI has been amazing. John Cronin, who's the special agent in charge here in Colorado Springs, has spent literally his team 24/7 for weeks across this country. We could not have done this without their support. Bill Elder's team has been fabulous in terms of their work, working tirelessly again 24/7 for many weeks, hoping we would find Gannon. Unfortunately, we are not. Colorado Springs Police Department, Kevin Clark came over, and it's been amazing the work that he has done, which I understand he may get a special recognition from the FBI in terms of what he's done on this case. My lead prosecutor on this case has been Michael Allen. He will continue to be the lead prosecutor throughout this case. And with that, I'd like to introduce him to fill you in on some of the things we expect going forward.
I want to let everybody know that the affidavit in this case supporting the arrest warrant remains sealed. We do understand why this case has drawn the attention it has from across our community and also across our country. But we want to do everything we can to make sure we achieve justice for Gannon. So we're not going to talk about the facts of the case going forward. We want to make sure that we protect these criminal proceedings. Anytime a child goes missing, it's natural for people to want to help out. And we encourage people, if you have credible tips, to still report those tips to the Sheriff's Department. We are going to continue this investigation. And really, it's a two-pronged investigation at this point, or process, I should say. One, we still want to bring Gannon home so that he can have a proper burial and his family can achieve the closure that they need. But we also want to hold the person that we are charging, Letitia Stauch, accountable for what she did in this case. She has been arrested on the following charges: murder in the first degree, child under 12 by a person in position of trust. That is a class 1 felony and carries a potential penalty of life in prison without parole. The other charges are child abuse resulting in death, tampering with the deceased body, and tampering with physical evidence. The extradition process is where we are now. We will proceed until we get Letitia back here to face formal filing of charges, which will be sometime in the coming days. We do have a team of folks in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now, 2 prosecutors from our office, FBI agents, and members of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. They're collecting evidence even in South Carolina as we speak, and that will continue until they exhaust that effort. I do want to add, too, that all defendants, Letitia included, are innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That will be the case. It's our burden to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. We are confident that we'll be able to do that. But because we have that burden and we want to protect the proceedings, we won't be commenting again on the facts of this case. Thank you very much.
Really am not in the correct mindset to be even standing up here, but if I had to say one thing, that when he said Gannon is no longer with us, I'd have to say Gannon is with us. After the stories of people from all over the world, he's not only my hero now, he's the world's hero. So I think the community, the positive support from a state that I've never visited other than 2 or 3 times, I'm astounded by the amount of love that's not come from me. It's came from my boy. And never thought I'd be standing here. It's a nightmare. I've had to put trust in the people I don't know. Today, I got the worst news and the best news. Obviously, we know what the worst news is. The best news is that justice will be served. And I'll make sure that justice is served because my boy did not deserve any of this that has happened to him. So I urge media one more time just to hold off on questions until we know that this person, the stepmom that I even trusted, that she will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done. And I know that that's going to will be done. So I ask you guys, I beg and plead of you, if you've known or if you see the story, all of you have seen this story, please hold that very close to you. Because I want to live this earth knowing that justice was served for my boy. And I know that you've seen pictures, you've seen stories, you've seen my little man. He is truly my hero. And I'm gladly giving that to you guys too, that he can be your hero. I've heard stories of people that have not prayed in years, that have finally fell on their knees to pray. And I know where my son's at, without a shadow of a doubt. So many families have been brought closer together because of this. I know my boy is special, and I've told my people and my family and friends that Gannon has a testimony. So Gannon has a story. He's special. And this is his story. So make that story magnificent, who my child is. And I'm putting my trust into you guys to do that. So thank you for allowing Gannon to be your hero and sharing with us.
So now I'm going to read a statement from Al, Gannon's dad. In a moment on September 29, 2008, my heart stopped as my baby boy entered this world way too early, weighing only 1 pound, 6 ounces. His infectious smile and constant laughter made an impact on every single person he's ever met. Although I miss the years when he was learning to walk, learning to talk, and he had welcomed his little sissy home from the hospital. I've been looking forward to his teenage years and the fun we had ahead of us as he became a young man. In a moment, on March 2nd, 2020, my heart stopped again with what we have heard up to this point. My little boy is not coming home. We will never play Nintendo again. No more Taco Tuesdays. No more smooth-looking haircuts. No more Big Bubba for my Lena, and no more G-Man for the world. The person who committed this heinous, horrible crime is one that I gave more to anyone else on this planet, and that is a burden that I will carry with me for a very long time. But the God I believe in is the owner and decider of justice and vengeance. Only he can repay. Although I am selfish and want my baby boy here, now and forever, how can I question God for bringing Gannon home to him? Because Gannon believed in God, and I will never stop believing. Thank you to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and the FBI for the thousands of hours it took to uncover the truth as we know it. And may they stay strong and focused as they move forward. The mugshot for Letitia will be available on our social media platforms as soon as she is formally booked into the Horry County Sheriff's Office detention facility. I do have press packets available for the media, which will be available at the conclusion of the press conference. As Senior District Attorney Michael Allen said, all investigation questions should be directed to the District Attorney's Office. All search effort information will continue to come from the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Right now, I'd like to take the time to thank the media for your constant coverage and not letting this nation forget Gannon. Our work is not done. Let's continue to work together to find him. Thank you for coming.
Hey guys, give me just 1 second. I want to get something up on my screen before I do anything. So just bear with me. And I apologize for all the background noise. This is real life. I have kids and dogs running around, and usually I'm not on live at 5 p.m., but I think we all know why we're here. Give me just 1 moment, and I will be right back. Okay, so there are a lot of you down in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. I will apologize in advance if I cry. I didn't know Gannon, but I've had the pleasure of getting to know some of his family members over the last 5 weeks. And today, okay, Marie, I'll bring you on if you want to talk. I'll bring you on. Let me give you a link. Today, I called Marie down there in the chat. And the absolute pain that I heard in her voice is something that I will never forget. So please just pray for this family and pray for Gannon. Let me get Marie a link. I'm sorry for crying. If Marie doesn't see this, can you copy it again for her so that she can get it and come on here? Look at his face. Look at that little boy's face. How could she do this? How? How do you do that to an 11-year-old little boy? I don't even know what she did. But how? I'm sure a lot of you heard Nolan, my son's prayers for Gannon yesterday. And he came home from school today and he asked me how Gannon was and if they found Gannon. And I had to tell Nolan no, that he wasn't okay. And his first words to me was, why would his stepmom kill him, Mommy? Why would his stepmom kill him? Is it because his dad loved him and gave him more attention? Because that's what dads should do. Dads should love their kids and give them more attention. Was she jealous of him? And these are words from my 11-year-old's mouth. And it's to hear your son, who's the same age as this little boy, say something so profound knocks the breath out of you. Marie, if you don't want to do StreamYard, you can call my phone and we can do it that way too. I know that Marie is heartbroken. I heard her pain earlier. I cried with her earlier. You know, I picked up the phone and called her before she read it on the news that there had been first-degree murder charges. And I've never had to do anything like that in my life. But I didn't want her to read it on the internet because she's read so many terrible, terrible things on the internet. Over the last 5 weeks, and there's been a lot. Oh yeah, you're right. You can't see chat. If you click that StreamYard link, well, let's see how else we could do it. Oh yeah, Marie, you can see the chat on StreamYard too, if you use StreamYard. So, I don't think I've ever watched a more heartbreaking press conference in my life. And I'm in no way saying that any other crime that I followed or any other case that I followed has had less of an impact. Do you want the StreamYard link again? Let me give you the StreamYard link. I can't tell you how hard it's been to sit here for 5 weeks and over those 5 weeks, find out information and not be able to say a word about it and be quiet about it and then be questioned, have my integrity questioned, and that's okay. That's fine. I know who I am at the end of the day. And this is all for Gannon. This has been for Gannon the last 5 weeks. Every stream, every live has been for Gannon, and we will continue to be here for Gannon. We will, like I believe it was Nana who said earlier, we will guide him home. We will be there. We will follow this case until the very end. And yeah, I'm at a loss for words. There's another crime online interview. I will not say her name again on this channel. I will not. You know, I talked with True Helper several times today, several times. And I know he's heartbroken. I know so many people are heartbroken, but our heartbreak and our pain is nothing compared to what the family is going through. I'm going to bring Marie on. She is here. My mods that are down there, you are all amazing, so you know what to do if anybody misbehaves. Hey there. Hi.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hi.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to you and to True Helper and to all the people in this little chat room and all the rest all over the world that have prayed earnestly day and night for Gannon. I want to thank True Helper
Oh,
for the contacts that he made to help in this process of finding whoever done this. I just I just want to say you're a good group of people. Um, to
yeah,
be in a room of the love that I have felt from you guys, of your kind words and your generous thoughts. Tell you
you're
guys
so
thank you.
you're so sweet. You don't owe us any thank yous. I'm just, I told you earlier when we talked, if for nothing else, Gaten has brought some amazing
Sorry it
people.
went.
I know. And I told you, I know this is a tragedy and I can't even imagine your pain. I can't. But Gannon has brought people together all over the world. And
Yes, he
I know
has.
that you are somebody that I will forever love and forever talk to. And I know that he's formed those relationships amongst many other people.
Yes, he has. He
And
was
we
a
just have
miracle
to have
from the
faith.
start.
We just
He was a
have,
miracle from the start, and he's still a miracle today because he took a dying nation
yes, yes.
that's dying in sin of their own wickedness and showed them a better way to come back to him and to follow him and to pray to him and trust God again. So I'm like Landon today. God had a purpose for
Yes.
Gannon when he was born,
Yes.
and he meant for nothing. You guys, you got to understand, nothing happens that God doesn't know it. He always knows what's going to happen before we do. And he allows things to happen sometimes, even though it's the worst thing that we could
Yeah.
feel for his glory and for his purpose.
Yeah.
and he will forever be my little
Yes,
hero.
absolutely.
Now I just left family and
Yes,
came
he's the
home.
nation's hero.
I had to come home. I couldn't take anymore. I just felt like I was zoning out, and I just felt like I needed to come home and
Oh,
recharge, get myself back together.
aw.
And I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I scared you earlier when you called me and told me
No,
that.
no, you didn't scare me. You didn't scare me. I just didn't want you to read it online. You know, the last place that anybody
Well,
should
none of
have to read anything about their family is online. And True Helper, I think, is down there. And I know you want to talk to him, and I'm sure I'm gonna text him actually and see if he can come on and maybe talk to you too.
that'd be
I
great.
was talking to him earlier, and we want to make sure that you and your family in South Carolina have grief counseling services, or if any victims advocates have reached out to you guys, because I know, the epicenter of everything that's going on is in Colorado, and we both just want to
Right.
make sure that you and your family are taken care of there.
Well, we haven't yet.
Oh,
No, the pastor
yeah,
has been
good,
today, and he is
good.
still there. He is still there. He's been there since Landon got the call this morning. See, I didn't get the call. I seen it on the internet through DWAP, and that's when
Uh-huh.
I texted you, asked you if you knew anything about it, and I called my sister-in-law, of course, and at first she was saying it was just rumors because she hadn't heard nothing from Landon. Well, that's
Right,
because of LaRonda being sick. Um,
right,
they didn't want to upset her without somebody calling her themselves.
right.
So, but I was there when the FBI came to the house today and
Okay,
told us what all happened, and that Tisha had been um, arrested in Myrtle Beach, and that they were still gathering evidence here in South Carolina.
they're gathering evidence in
So
South Carolina.
they're still, yeah, they're still gathering it. Yep, still gathering evidence from South Carolina. And if you listen
Oh,
to the conference, um, the gentleman says the same thing. That even though was in South Carolina, they're still gathering evidence.
yeah,
So, but as far as me with grief counseling, I already go to counseling once a month because I suffer from major clinical depression.
yeah,
So I go anyway, and so does my
yeah,
sister-in-law. The one
yeah.
I'm more concerned about and worried about is Landon and Albert. And you guys, please, they're hurting. But if you could just throw in an extra prayer that way for them too. I know, I can't even
Absolutely.
imagine. I couldn't imagine being in Landon's shoes right now. I mean, it hurts just being an aunt. But
Right,
when a
right,
mama loses a child, that's a whole different ballgame. And then to lose him like she lost him so heinously. Um,
right,
but
right.
from what I've gathered, she will for the first degree murder. That's life without parole
Yes. Yeah. Like I told you
in
on the phone,
Colorado.
I told you on the phone earlier, she will never see the light of day outside of prison again. And, you know, I don't know
Thank
what
God
kind
she
of
doesn't need to.
I don't know what kind of monster lives inside her soul, but
I don't know, and I really don't know. I really don't know who did what, but I also know her sister was arrested too.
was she?
Yeah, so I don't know if the two were together and they got arrested together,
Right,
or if it was two different and they got arrested. I They didn't go into detail when they told what they told to us today, other than somebody must have couldn't take it any knew the secret and couldn't take it anymore and decided to come clean.
right.
Now I don't know if that was Harley or another family member or a friend or what. But like I said, I don't think she done it all completely by herself. And I still think there's others out there that eventually um, maybe will lead to something else too.
Yeah,
But God will shine a light. God will shine a light. I'm trying to
absolutely.
stay positive through this all.
You're strong. You're
Many,
strong. You're strong.
many tears have fell in the last 3.5 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and more. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, and I hate to even say that, but there's right now, I think it's still just a
yeah,
shock for everybody. There's a lot of
yeah.
painful days to come, and I want you to know that I am always here, 24 hours a day. My phone is next to me. I am here anytime you need somebody just to scream at. You can call me. I'm tough. I can handle it.
Right.
Or if you need to cry, I'm here. Um,
Thank you
you're,
so
you are
much.
you are not alone. You are not alone. There's a
Thank you.
nation standing behind you, and I'm here for you. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry
It's
he's gone.
okay. I know, but you know what? You know what my comfort is, Danielle? To know that one day I get to see him again.
Yes, you do.
I may not get to spend his childhood watching him finish growing up to be a young man, but one day again, when I die and I get to go home, I'm going to see him again.
Yes, you
And
are.
that's my comfort. That's
Yeah.
my comfort.
Yeah. You had shared with
Was it right for her to do? Was it right for her to do what she done? Absolutely not.
no.
But you know what? The wicked never win because even though they think they get away with it, they don't because God's seen everything they've done. And they're going to answer for it one way or the other one day.
Yeah. Yeah, she will. She'll, you have to.
So you dry your eyes
I'm
and
trying.
don't you
It's
cry.
just, you, you
And
don't
don't
have, I should be consoling you. Aw,
and
you're so
don't you
sweet.
cry
It's
because Gannon wouldn't want you to cry. Gannon wouldn't want you to cry. He was not like that. He was happy all the time with a smile and a giggle and a laugh and like Landon said, a corny little joke. You
yeah.
didn't never see Gannon cry. So don't
Aw.
cry.
Yeah, man.
Because you know what? He's in God. He's up there with God, and he ain't worrying about nothing anymore. He don't have to worry about anybody being mean to him anymore, or hitting him anymore, or punishing him anymore. He don't have to worry about that. He's already got a brand new body and a whole new house up there to live in. So, hey, I'm ready for it. I can't get him one here on this side. I'm ready for mine on the other.
Yeah. Yeah. He's safe now. He's safe. It's,
Yes,
you
he's
know,
safe. He's up there with little face sweat. Look,
yeah.
you
Yes, he
know.
is.
He's
Yeah.
up there. He's up there with all the other little kids that's already gone home to be with God. So
Yeah.
he's not crying.
Yeah.
He's not crying.
Yeah.
But I know that's easier said than done for some, because some you can't say that to because they can't seem to wrap their head around it.
Right. Right. It's you just Amy had brought this up earlier to think about. I'm not saying her name. I'm not saying her name.
Hello, Katrina.
That evil person who was arrested today. To think about her
Hmm.
saying that she was crying over Kobe Bryant on Sunday while they were hiking at Garden of the Gods, and Gannon was comforting her.
Yeah.
It's just,
If you go back and research Kobe Bryant, because I think he's some kin way down the line back to them Lumbee Indians.
oh yeah,
I think
I,
so.
I, I
Might
wouldn't
be
doubt
because
it.
she was crying over her family. I reckon her family well, them's crazy Indians up there anyway.
Right.
Them some crazy people.
I love you. You're just as honest as it gets, and I love it.
Well,
I
yeah,
love
they're crazy. They intermingle with one another. They marry one another. Ooh, they do some mean things. Yeah.
Yeah,
I work with some of them crazies. Yeah, you
yeah,
stay away from them. My grandma used to tell me, "Oh, don't you even think about no Lumbee Indian." I said, "Okay, Grandma, I'll listen to what you say."
yeah, yeah. I don't know much about them, but I take your word for it. You've shared a lot with me about that, and
Oh yeah, I was raised right there in Brunswick County in North Carolina, which is about 20 minutes to Wilmington. And then I moved to Whiteville and finished high school.
uh-huh.
And from Whiteville to Lumberton ain't but about an hour drive.
Yeah,
So yeah, everybody from Whiteville knows all about the Lumbee Indians.
right, right. How is Rhonda doing?
Yeah.
How's Rhonda and Mac doing? Are they doing holding up okay?
Well, they're doing they're hanging in there. There's still a lot of people at the house over there. A lot
Yeah,
of church people are coming in and out and in and out. And of course, the pastor's still there. He's not going to leave until he feels comfortable leaving.
good,
Um, yeah.
good.
So yeah, like I said, there's my husband's still over there, and my daughter will be coming back. My son and his wife and kids are over there. So yeah, there's still family over there.
Good. At least I'm glad they have
So
family over there with them.
yeah,
It's
because when you told me I needed to go and I tried to call her back and she didn't answer me,
yeah.
I got dressed in a hurry and lickety split. But by the time I got there, there was already, I don't know, 10 people.
Oh,
And
okay.
the preacher was already there when I got there.
Aw. Well, I'm glad that
Yeah.
you guys have been surrounded by support and family today. Um,
I just want to thank all you guys for your love and your care and your long hours of,
aw.
just thinking about us and uplifting us. And
We're still here.
I have felt it. I know I have felt it.
Yes.
And it's been a big comfort to me.
I'm glad. We're still here and we're going to be here. We're going to, you know,
Well, I'm not going
follow
anywhere.
this. We got to bring Gannon home. We
Yes,
got
we
to
do. And
bring
I'm
him home.
so hoping and praying that while she's in J. Reuben Long Detention Center, that maybe she'll finish telling what she knows,
Hmm.
and we can bring him home. We can bring
Yeah.
him home.
Yes.
We can
He
bring him
deserves
home.
that. Landon needs
Yes,
that. Al
all
needs
of us
that.
need some closure.
All of you need it. Yes.
Yeah,
He deserves to be brought home. He deserves peace, and he
he
deserves a
needs love and light,
yes.
love
Yes.
and light, love and light.
Yeah.
But every time you see blue, just think of Gannon.
I will. I will. I told my boys the other night, I said, I don't think I'll ever change the lights on my house. The lights on my house will forever probably stay blue outside for Gannon because he has,
Well,
just, he has touched my soul, and
yeah.
it's, I never met him, never knew him, but I love him,
Oh wow.
and
He
I
was
want him brought.
full of energy, just
Aw.
full of energy, just full of energy. And he loved being a big brother. Landon has not told one lie about him. He loved being a big brother, and he loved being called Bubba. Yeah.
Oh, sweet boy.
Just remember Lena. I don't know how
Of course.
she's doing, but now as far as Nova goes, Nova probably will never remember her as young as she is,
Right.
because she's
She's
only
only eight.
she's only 18 months old. Yeah.
Yeah, she's little. She's a baby still. But
Yeah.
Lena Gannon was her sidekick.
Yep.
And
And when you sing one, you sing the other. Yep.
yeah, yeah. Oh, he had the best seat in the house, Will. Gannon had the best seat in the house to watch Sonic. I have no doubt that he's
Oh, yeah.
seen that movie and seen it better than any of us ever could.
Oh, yeah. Is True Caller still in here?
True Helper, let's see. He said he was driving and he could be on here in about an hour, he said. That was about
Oh, wow.
10 minutes ago. So I think he's going to come on at some point. I don't know if you want to stay on that whole time. And if you don't want to, I completely understand. I know it's been a horrible, horrible day for you. But you're welcome to stay on here and talk with me too if you want to.
I stay on as long as you want me to.
Aw.
As long as you want me to, as long as everybody's okay listening to me talk, because I got a southern accent.
I told you before, I love your southern accent. Reminds me of my family. I love it. I
Thank
love
you.
it. I think everybody down there in the chat's okay with you being here. They're all sending you lots of love and prayers and happy to be able to be here with you and give you support.
And thank you, Miss Amisaurus.
I think Amy is going to come on. Do you want to talk to Amy? You've never got to talk to her.
No, I've listened to her talk.
Yeah. Do you want to let me?
Amisaurus, would you like to come on, Amisaurus? Would you like to come on and talk to me? I would like to talk to you if you'd like to talk to me.
We'll get Amy on here for you to talk to.
And anybody else that wants to talk to me. Hi, Maui girl.
Let's get a link for Amy.
Hey, Star Love. Ooh, we're going to survive so fast. And that's that doodle bug.
Marie, you'd be good at this. You could have your own channel. You're keeping up with those comments better than I am.
Hey, Kim Craig. Janelle, how's it going? Yeah, I probably could, but I mean, I don't like nobody to see what I look like, so we'd have to put a fake profile up there.
You're funny. You're funny. We were laughing the other day. I covered my camera on my laptop I couldn't find tape, so my camera on my laptop right now is covered with a stamp, just so I don't have any accidents and accidentally show my camera or turn my camera on while I look like a troll with my hair on top of my head and no makeup on behind this mic.
Oh, honey, I don't never put no makeup on. What you talking about? I don't know the last time I had any of that stuff on.
Jennifer,
is that
yes.
Demeter? Is that Demeter? Is that how you say that? I'm like Daniel. I'm bad for butchering.
Oh, I love you. Hold on, we're gonna bring Amy in. Yes, somebody asked if this was Landon's aunt, and yes, this is Landon's aunt and great aunt to Gannon, and Amy is here with us.
Alfred Dawn.
Are you there, Amy?
Amisaurus.
Maybe she's not there.
But on me.
Yeah, she'll be back. She might be having audio issues. But let's see. Oh, she's back.
Hello, Rhonda Blackburn. And Miss Connie, how you
you're kind of breaking up,
girl?
Marie. You're breaking up a little bit. Amy, can you hear me?
The whole time. Huh? I'm still here.
Hold on 1 second. Amy, can you hear me? I don't know why Amy doesn't have sound. That's weird. So,
Can someone type and tell Danielle she sounds like a robot? She sounds like a robot. Uh, I tried to be happy today. I don't want to be sad today. I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate my G-Man's life. It's from Columbus County. Oh no, come on back here. You Columbus County too? Rhonda Blackbird. Danielle, are you there? I think everybody went and left me. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me
okay, I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
now? Yes.
Marie, can you hear me? You're breaking up. Marie, you're
Now
breaking.
you got to fix this. You from Blackbird? Come on, County. That's in Hanover. Oh, come on now. I thought, where'd you go to? I sound like a robot. You sound like a robot. Everybody said, you like a robot. Make me think of Midnight Star.
Okay. Marie is breaking up very, very bad. She's a riot, isn't she? Amy can't get audio. I don't know what's going on here. So, okay, Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think that's what it was. I think we just had a bad connection. You sound better now. You sound better. Amy can't get audio, but she'll be
okay,
back shortly. She'll be back
okay.
shortly. So, I gave you the the stage there. You got to take over the show for a little bit while I stepped out and came
I
back.
didn't know
And
where you went. I thought you lost me. I was like, am I here all by myself?
yeah, you were entertaining
Where'd you
that
go,
crowd down
Danielle?
there. I think you're giving them all
Yeah, I was.
some much needed giggles down there because everybody's so sad and you're
Well,
here
they.
lightening up the mood, and that's just amazing of you. Yeah, glowing ember
Well,
said we know where
that's the
Gannon got
person
his
I am.
sense of humor.
Yeah, he got it from his auntie.
Aw.
His auntie's crazy. I said, T. Never mind. Scratch that. Aunt Marie. You
Aunt
know
Marie.
that. You know, you guys. My name, Aunt Marie ain't Aunt Marie. Aunt Marie got a fake name. Okay.
Yes, Marie is not her name. Just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just on YouTube.
Yeah, just on YouTube.
Sure.
And I thought about changing it from there.
If you guys want to call in to talk to Marie, you're more than welcome. Do you want a phone number to call? We can do that.
We can put the link in the chat.
Oh, Marie, you are the best.
We can StreamYard, okay? You just click on that thing and follow it and do what it says to. Just follow the instructions. And you can come on and talk to me and Danielle on Real Massacre Talk. Yeah. Because after Gannon's case, we're moving along to the next one. Okay?
Aw.
When Gannon's going on, I'm going to carry on. Because I'm not going to let another child go like this.
Yeah. It's not right.
It's just not cool.
It's not.
It's not cool.
I don't know
It's
how
not cool.
anybody can hurt a child at all. Let me get
That's
a phone
the devil
number.
in them.
Yeah. Let me get
That's
a
the
phone
pure,
number
that's the
for
pure
you.
devil in them.
Don't mind my dogs barking.
Oh, I hear them. The huskies.
Yes, I have the
The
husky.
husky.
That's the little dog barking right now.
Oh,
Hold on one
one
second.
bless mama. I hear you. One bless Charlie. Tina Hobbs, how you doing? Come on in here. Sit down. Papa squat.
Oh,
Hello, Raquel. Hey, D. SNE Jinx, come on in. Come down. Take a load off. Papa squat.
oh. Um,
Dare to be different. That's what my name should be.
what's
Marie
that?
is such a sweetie. Oh, well, thank you so much. Dare to be me, to be different. Said Marie is such a sweetie. Thank you so much.
On Jay, I think I have
Oh,
some.
Danielle,
You
you
know,
see
I'll gladly let.
competition?
I'll gladly let Marie be my competition. She. Oh, I came on here sobbing, and you have me just cracking up. I love it.
Thank you. That was, I'm thank you, Jesus. Thank you that I can bring love and laughter instead of tears. Thank you. See, God
Matt,
has a purpose for me too.
absolutely. Um, Matt, I'm not sure. Do you have me on Facebook Messenger? Because you can call my Facebook
Is it?
Messenger too.
Is that Ari Lynch? Lynch? Ari Lynch. Ari Lynch. Are you a
Mary
male or
Lynn.
a female? I'm a doll.
I
Oh, well, I want to look like Barbie. I do. If I'm gonna be a doll, I want to look like Barbie. And I'm a far cry from that. Okay, but it's okay.
um yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he can come on with StreamYard and talk to her. He can come on and talk to her.
hello, Connie.
I will drop a StreamYard link again for anybody that wants to come on and talk to Marie. Don't come on here and do anything
Hey,
crazy.
honeybee. Oh no, I would never do nothing like that to get in trouble. Hey,
Oh no,
honeybee.
not you. You're running the show right now. I'm telling anybody who's gonna call in here or come on StreamYard not to do
Let's.
anything crazy.
That's right. Watch your language.
Aw, thank you, Gina.
No, not that group. Go to True Master Talk. That's right. Come on over to the True Talk Master and sit down and pop a squat.
Oh, hold on
Boy,
one.
I'm loving you guys. Hey, Amy, move over. I'm taking your spot. Amosaurus, wherever you're at, I'm taking your spot. I can't talk like this all the time because if my hubby's home, he won't let me do this.
Okay, I have a couple messages I'm gonna play for you, okay?
Oh, wow. I got messages. Ooh, I got mail.
Oh, that one is not. You have mail, Marie. You have mail. Let's see.
Ooh, I got mail.
Okay, here's a message from Amy. So let me play this one. Oops, maybe. I know what I gotta do. Oh, I turn my volume down on my phone when I come on live, and
Oh, Danielle, there you go. Break
okay.
it.
Oh, I'm breaking up again.
Oh, I can hear you play that time. Whoa.
Okay. Okay, here's a message from Amy. Okay, hold on one
Okay.
second. 1 minute. I gotta get it. Technical difficulties. Okay.
Hi, Marie, Danielle, and Chad. It's Amy. I'm in my car, and I think that Gannon's just enjoying hearing his auntie talk about him, and it's just not working out for me today, and that's all right. Just wanted to send you all my love and condolences, and I love your spirit, and we all have our arms wrapped around you, and in this time, in the next couple days, couple months, whatever it is, if you need anything, please reach out. There's a lot of people in this chat and on Danielle's team that have a lot of resources, and we can put you in the right direction, and we will hold your hand through this. I love you. Love you, Danielle.
Aw.
Love you, Amy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Marie, do you know, you said which one of her sisters were arrested? Do you know?
Yeah, Antoinette.
Antoinette? Huh.
Antoinette Marie. Didn't catch what her conviction or whatever it is called. I didn't catch that, but it was on because somebody screenshot it and put it
Okay,
on
because
there.
I thought she only had two sisters. One is named Julie and one
Honey.
is named Amy.
Yeah, but she's got half sisters. Remember I told
Okay.
you she been
Yeah.
married about 3 times? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure she's the same Marie from Mommy Ramblings, Antoinette Marie, that went on there and did a lot of talking, trying to
Okay.
misscrew.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure. I don't often watch other channels just because mine takes a lot of time and then real life, so I don't always catch everything on other channels. So that's interesting. All right. You got
Hold
Oh, go ahead.
wife or something. Antoinette or wife or something. What? Right there, what you talking about? You done got me lost, girl. Come on back here with that. What? This was what? Oh, man chat suggested this one was for bad, right? What does that mean? Danette Costa. I don't understand what you're asking. Hmm.
I think she's just
Oh,
saying that
yeah, what
she
went down in the Carolinas today, baby? The day is the day the devil went down to Georgia. And he was looking for a soul to steal, but he didn't steal this one.
All right,
We
Marie,
got him in chains.
let me play you another
We got
message
him in
somebody left
chains.
for you, okay? So here's another
Okay.
message for you.
Hi, Danielle. This message is for Maria. This is Star Love, and I just want to call and give her my deepest condolences and to let her know that it may look dark now, but it's going to get better and better and better. Just try to be patient and kind and talk about her feelings and support everyone in the family. We love her and we love Gannon and we love London and Elle and the daughter. May God bless you and keep you.
Aw,
Oh,
that was
thank you,
very
Star
sweet.
Love.
Very sweet.
Thank you so much, Star Love. Thank you
All
for
right, we
your
got
for
one
your
more
love. Hi,
one more
Ray.
one more here for you.
Okay.
And then I think I missed a phone call too. So I'll drop that phone number again in just 1 second if anybody wants to talk to Marie.
Daniel, you're roboting.
I'm roboting. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Okay. Do I sound okay to the chat? Can you guys let me know if I sound okay?
you do now. But when you play message, it sounds robotic.
Okay. Okay. Let me.
And this
If somebody in the chat, I think
Let's see.
somebody said they tried to call, but it didn't go through. Do you want me to call you back? I think. Okay, I'll
Dawn
call you
J.
back. It looks
Dawn
like you called. The
J.
same
Yep.
time.
I have been on a
Thank you so much.
CB radio, a couple of itty bitty child.
Oops. Okay, we're gonna call this number back. I don't ring. I'm not sure who it was. Rhonda, you just left a message. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's play this message.
Hi, Danielle and Marie. This is Rhonda Blackburn. Looks like I'm just going to be able to leave a message here, but that's fine. I just wanted to tell Marie, thank you so much for being so open and honest. And I wish there was something that we could do. And I am sort of in the neck of the woods of where she is. I'm in Wilmington, which is in North Carolina on the coast. But I just wanted to say that I am truly sorry. And it's been very heartbreaking to us that didn't even know Gannon. But to those that did, my heart goes out to them. And I thank her for her participation and openness more than anything else, and her good spirit. But anyway, love your channel, love you guys, and thanks so much for giving me a little time to just say that little piece. Thanks again. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Yes, thank you.
Dare to be. How you bet? Dianca Lee. Yes, fly high, sweet angel, fly high.
I'll just let you chat with the chat for a minute, Marie. I gotta look at something really quick.
For anybody that's new to the channel, Doodlebug has dropped the link here. And it is a petition for Gannon's Law. And Gannon's Law is for any child less than the age of 13, or excuse me, 12, to not be considered a runaway, but to automatically be assumed as a child endangered. If you guys could please sign this petition and let's get this put into play so none of our other children go missing like this. That if something happens, they're automatically this endangered. Because the longer we waited on thinking that he was a runaway was valuable time wasted that we could have been looking for him and find him. His case would have been taken. So if you guys could please send out to your loved ones, to your neighbors, your mothers and your baby groups, your nurseries, your school teachers, and get everybody in on signing this. This would be something awesome, something that would live on in Gannon's name, and it would be Gannon's contribution back to the world.
Oh, yes, it's a great petition to sign, and it's a great law to be put into place because I don't know that it would have changed the outcome of Gannon's fate. However, it would have changed the outcome of how his case was investigated in the beginning. The first 72
Yes.
hours were essentially lost when it came to Gannon's case because this law is not in place yet. And because he was reported as a runaway by the person who is accused of causing his death. So, yeah, it's a very important petition to sign. Okay, Nana, let me go check real quick.
Nona, hello. Hello, Just Joan. How is everyone doing this evening? Come on in, sit down, pop a squat. Send up some love for Gannon. He's with God. Um,
I think some people are
and we know
wondering.
it. And
Some people are wondering, Marie. You might not know this yet because it's so early, and I hate to even ask it, but do you think I can't imagine that his funeral will be in Colorado. Do you think it'll be in South Carolina or in North Carolina?
well, he was born here,
Hmm.
so I would think that he would be here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, in South Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I don't think all of his family have the money to fly to Colorado. And from my understanding, Albert says he'll never live in the house again.
yeah. I mean, I can't blame
That's just
him.
one house he won't. Yeah, I
I
can't
can't.
blame him. And eventually, when this is all said and done in the upcoming months, which I'm pretty sure Lana will have to be there for a while
Right.
with all of this. I imagine the funeral, when it does, it'll be brought home, and our pastor will he'll do the
Yeah.
funeral, and then it'll be buried here.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Danette said Albert might not even want to remain
Well,
stationed
no,
there.
it's not be. It was well, I don't know if it actually would be Loris. It could be. Well, the family has a church that has the family graves in it. So I don't know if he would be buried there or um, if Mac and Rhonda have another place for him
Yeah.
already.
Sweet crazy. The woman that was with Landon today is her Aunt Veronica. That is
Yes, that's
Landon.
my sister-in-law's sister.
Yeah, that is the sister of um oh,
Landon's mama.
the sister of Landon's mom. Her name is
Yeah,
Veronica.
yeah.
Oh wow, Rhonda. That's where they're all from. Yeah, Dana, I would think the same thing. I would think the same thing. I'm sure at some point Al would maybe request a transfer. I don't know. I think there's still a lot left unsaid and unknown right now. At this point, they still have to recover Gannon. They still have to find Gannon. And that's a very hard thing because now Landon and Albert have been told the worst news of their lives today. And they still have to sit at home tonight wondering where he is. And that's a hard blow to take. I mean, it's like torture upon torture. Um so, let's just hope and pray that they recover Gannon soon and bring him home. Bring him home so that his parents, his sister, his family, his aunts, his uncles, his grandparents, everyone who loves him, so they can have some kind of closure and, you know, lay him to rest properly. Are you
Hmm.
still there, Marie? Yeah, you're still there. Yeah, Danette, I think everybody was hoping for resolution today. I'm going to read this third article from the person I can't speak her name. I can't. Makes my blood boil. Um, I'm going to read the article. I'm sure you guys have read it. Have you seen the article yet, Marie?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So let me go ahead and read it. This is what I'm going to do. I wish I could. I'll just read it out loud instead of pulling up the link and doing a screen share and everything. So there was a 2-part interview that had been released so far, and this is the 3rd part of that interview. It says Gannon Stauch, stepmom says bloody board was not her fault. She's now facing child abuse and murder charges. The stepmother of missing 11-year-old Colorado boy Gannon Stauch was arrested Monday morning on suspicion of first-degree murder and several related charges. Prior to her arrest, Crime Online spoke to her as part of our investigation into Gannon's disappearance. Stauch claimed Gannon left by foot from their Lorson Ranch neighborhood for a friend's house at some point between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. on January 27th. He never returned home, and today's arrest indicates investigators do not believe that he will be found alive. Within days of Gannon's disappearance, an El Paso County crime scene team arrived at his home to collect evidence. They returned several times and were spotted removing items from the residence and carrying items inside. Stauch said she did not understand how authorities could call the home a crime scene after they saw Gannon leaving with her on January 27th. How the hell is the house a crime scene if he left and didn't come back with me, supposedly? They are saying there is a crime scene with all this blood in the house, which they let people live in during the supposed crime scene for 7+ days. But then a video shows him leaving with me walking. Oh. Stauch was referring to security footage captured by a neighbor, which reportedly showed her leaving at around 10:18 a.m. on January 27th with Gannon and returning home a little after 2 p.m. without him. Stauch claimed her husband told her about blood found in the home. She denied hurting Gannon and claimed that he would get repetitive nosebleeds that required frequent cleanups. Stauch said Gannon also cut his foot in the garage a few days before he vanished. There are tools, wood, and woodworking in the garage, joiners and saws. If there was blood in the garage, it was from doing activities, Stauch said. L. Stauch allegedly called his wife and asked her why a saucer-sized puddle of blood was found inside Gannon's room, according to what Tisha Stauch told Crime Online. He was taken around and shown different places of blood inside the house. There was some in the garage, but there are accidents all the time. Nosebleeds. Gannon walked around sometimes with blood on his arm from nosebleeds. Stauch added that her husband told her that Gannon's sock and a bloody 2x4 were found in the woods near Douglas County. Stauch explained that her family frequently loaded up boards they didn't need from their garage into the pickup truck, leftovers from her husband's woodworking hobby. She claimed that there had been several accidents in the garage, which could have easily accounted for a bloodied board. When asked how the board would have ended up in the back in the woods, Stauch said that things have flown out of the back of the truck before while she was driving. She said the same thing could have happened to the board or Gannon's sock. When questioned whether law enforcement specifically told her about the wood or a sock, Stauch said, "Law enforcement have not said one word to me. They have not called me." The El Paso County Sheriff's Office has not confirmed the accuracy of Stauch's statements. They indicated during Monday's press conference they would not be releasing any additional details about the investigation at this time. Crime Online reached out to Albert Stauch for clarification on Tisha Stauch's statements, but we've been unsuccessful in reaching him. According to El Paso County Sheriff's Office, Tisha Stauch was arrested in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Stauch previously told Crime Online she left for South Carolina after getting death threats in Colorado Springs, where Gannon vanished from on January 27th. During a Monday afternoon press conference, El Paso Sheriff's Office said that Stauch is facing several felony charges, including murder in the first degree of a child under 12 in the position of trust, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with the deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence. Stauch is being held without bond in Myrtle Beach, awaiting extradition to Colorado Springs. The story continues to develop, and check back with Crime Online as additional details become available. So that's interesting. Wow. I don't know what happened to Marie. I lost you. If you are back down there in the chat, let me know if you want to come back on. Let me get Gannon's face back up there. I think this is it. There we go. It's okay. Hold on. What, honey? Yeah, I am.
Okay, so I told you.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, Shannon, she's been talking herself in circles for weeks. And my house is a zoo. I'm so sorry. She's been talking herself in circles for weeks, and it's really just contradiction after contradiction. Yes, patio furniture, tampering with the deceased human body. That is absolutely chilling. Absolutely chilling. And it looks like they found blood in multiple areas of the home. And I was thinking about this, one of the things that she stated was that Lena got home at 3:15 that day and did not see Gannon on that Monday after school. Now the Huskies are going to bark. Good Lord. And then she also said that Gannon left between 3:15 to 4. I was sitting here and thinking last night, like, okay, well, that doesn't really add up, because if Lena got home at 3:15, how could Gannon have left between 3:15 and 4 and not seen his sister? And then to top it off, it was convenient that time frame of 3:15 to 4 falls before the time of Harley arriving home at 4:38. So her time frames just come off as very calculated. And oh, True Helper's here. Okay. Oh, he's driving. Okay. Yes, Huskies. So yeah, I sat here last night and I thought about those time frames, and I'm like, that's just weird. It's just really, it doesn't add up. It doesn't, because even if Lena got home at 3:15 and Gannon left between 3:15 and 4, they would have had to have seen each other, right? If Gannon left, like she said. We now know that's not true. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks that wasn't true, but it has been 100% clarified and validated by law enforcement today that information was in fact a lie. There's just lies everywhere. And one of the tweets that caught my attention today was the one of the gentleman who interviewed T and captured that infamous interview that we have all just looked at and not known what to think of it or make of it. But the reporter who did that interview, he tweeted this. He said, I gotta find it. That's not it. I'm probably better off going to my camera roll to find it. He said, this is Spencer Wilson, now confirmed that not only was Letitia Stauch arrested, but that she is now facing first-degree murder charges. This is the same woman who told me a month ago, I would never want someone to think that I would hurt Gannon. That is just not the case. And, you know, he captioned it with a picture of his interview with her, and it's really just chilling to think that she stood there and she said that to a reporter, knowing what she has done. We don't even know what she's done. I'm not even sure I want to know. I'm not even sure I want to know. So, yeah, Danette, he never left that red truck on Monday on foot. And then, you know, even I was speaking with Amy last night. We were talking about, like, okay, she's came up with all these other stories. Like, you know, Gannon had a plastic bag in case he vomited. Now, I think the majority of us are parents. And if you have a sick child, the last thing you're going to do is load them in a car and go shopping all over the place. That was all stuff that could have been done a different day. When he got in that truck, you had chills and felt the darkness that told you that we wouldn't see him again. Aw. That's a good point, Demita. That's why she couldn't face the camera. I don't know which one. I don't know what mods are down there. Joe, do you want to come on? I know Doodlebug's down there. Doodlebug, if you want to come on, you can. I think True Helper's going to come on here. Is it posted, Dawn? Let me get it. Where's it posted at? We'll pull it up. Actually, I don't like one. Not that I want to put her face on here, but I do want to see her mugshot. Did they post it in the group yet? Oh, yeah. Christina got it. Oh, boy. Ugh. Wait till you guys see this one. It's... Oh, she's looking rough. Let me... Just 1 minute and I'll get her mugshot up. I gotta send it to my... Yep, it's coming. Her daughter said she saw Gannon on Sunday night. Let me look at comments. Sorry for all the noise. My son is going in the front or out the garage door and coming in the front door. I don't know what he's doing. Yes, Amanda Sue, her ex-husband is dead. I want to say it was 2013 that he died. All right, let me see if this transferred and I can... It did not. One moment, we'll get her mugshot up. I would like to say that I know that everybody on the Real Massacre Talk team is absolutely heartbroken today. Every one of them. It's been a sad, sad day everywhere. And I think Amy's going to come on now. I don't know what happened to Marie. I think she might have lost connection. Let me drop Amy a link. True Helper's driving, but he will come on as soon as he's done driving. Maybe Marie will come back then. I know that she does not get the best service in her area sometimes. So there's a link for Amy, and I'm still getting this mugshot. Yeah, that's a good point, One Wild Ride. I kind of wondered about them taking, or when she said that her daughter took Lena to the dollar store. Yeah, that is a great point. Hey, Amy.
Hello. Sorry about that before.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem. We're glad you're on here now. I don't know what happened to Marie. Of course, you can email me, Lufa. Of course, I'll drop my email address in just a second.
Marie is just like Landon, so strong to be able
She's
to.
she's an angel. Here I'm
Amazing.
sobbing and she's comforting me.
I know. I was in my car and I just was. In fact, I pulled over in a parking lot and I sat on a curb trying to make it work, and that's when I heard that part, and I was like, "Oh gosh." Oh. Hi, Jess Jones.
She stole the show for a minute. I mean, she was on
She's
it.
a natural.
She's keeping up with comments and entertaining everybody, and she's a strong, strong woman.
Very, very. And Marie, if you're listening, I meant what I said. There's a lot of resources for you and your family. If you get lost or you're struggling, reach out. And for one, I can say this. I can point you in the right direction. So there are victims advocates for everyone involved. And
yeah,
I highly encourage you to utilize them.
There are. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I have the mugshot. I'm just trying to get my computer to cooperate. I'm going to put it up here.
Carly P, I've already seen it. Oh, I don't even know if I want to look at it.
Well,
they're all saying it's terrifying. Of course, of course it is now that we know for sure.
It's
I know it's been shared but I can't get off of where I am right now to look. So
I'm getting it. It's just taking a little bit longer than it should.
Take your time. China Cat Sunflower. That's one of my favorite songs. Hey, Gannon, buddy, fly once over the moon for me tonight, friend. Say hi to the boss. Aww. See you when I get there. Have a good one. Oh, that's so sweet.
That is sweet. Amy, I'm gonna disconnect for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. Never apologize. Let's just say there's no sunglasses or makeup to hide her kind of evil. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I handle grief a different way, and I think I'm suppressing my sorrow, and I have a lot of conflicting emotions right now. I go from numb to angry to sick to my stomach and then back. So if I giggle, it's not to be disrespectful, it's probably nerves and being uncomfortable in my own skin right now. Oh, Carly P, yes. Wow. So you guys are feeling the same thing. Yeah, I know. I know when I lay down tonight. I will probably let it go soon. But I think I don't know if it's like still in shock. Like I said, I tend to I can't talk, compartmentalize things.
All right.
Yeah, Shannon, that I know. I've talked to you enough to know that.
Here's her mugshot.
Are you back, Danielle?
I am.
Yay.
Her mugshot should be
Alrighty.
popping up there any second.
They're telling me it's worse than Megan for Amushka, so
Yeah, it's
I'm
disgusting.
not excited. Although I have curiosity, I'm like, oh, oh my.
Yeah.
It's like the evil has owned her face.
It doesn't even.
It's the evil has owned her face.
It doesn't even look like her.
Mm-mm. Those eyes, I can't. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
No, they have not found Gannon. Majojo.
Doodlebug, that's what I thought. That's the exact same thing I thought.
That, not that there's anything wrong with saying it, but yeah, I agree. Oh, I just got a wave of like icky chills.
Yeah.
Oh.
Has anybody followed the new show on Netflix, The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez?
I just started watching it.
I'm pretty sure Tisha will be facing the same fate that Gabriel's mother
That
got.
girl, their eyes always look like that because it's when the evil is owned, I think. Not necessarily by her, but when they can't hide it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
My goodness.
Do you hear that? Do you hear this?
Yes.
I should be thankful for it instead of getting frustrated. So
Yes. No, I needed to hear that.
thankful that my 11-year-old little boy is home
Yes,
safe
Don
and
J,
sound.
that's
You're
been
fine.
drinking.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
It's yeah.
Yeah,
Copper Star Misery. Great minds think alike. That's exactly what I meant. You said it a little bit better than me.
yes.
Thank you for that. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She's kind of got a look of arrogance on her face. I mean, it's a
smug, but her
yes.
eyes.
Yeah.
Her eyes.
We can zoom in on those.
I just I imagine her looking at him like that, and it makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, those eyes are
pure evil.
Yeah, she's
She doesn't even look like she cried. Like,
mm-mm.
not even tears that she was sorry for herself.
No. I'm not even sure I want to know how she killed him. I don't know if I can. I don't know. I mean, I know we're going to know at some point, but
Well, you remember when we were talking earlier today, and like we always say, like when we're talking about somebody, put your feet in their shoes and make yourself uncomfortable, even though it's something you don't want to think about, like what could have happened and how that goes. And so I told you today I can't get through the last part because I can't go
yeah,
back.
I think I struggle with knowing that we saw Gannon walking to his fate.
Yes.
We all witnessed that on the surveillance footage, and it makes me sick because you just want to reach in that video and you just want to save him.
Yeah, you want to grab his hand
And
and pull him the other way.
yeah.
Yeah. You want to save him.
And to know that he was hiking at Garden of the Gods the day before with her, and he's an 11-year-old trusting little boy. She was his caregiver. She was responsible for him.
Yep.
And
Danielle, you're breaking up.
oh boy. Okay.
And they're saying that Lufa has emailed you something important.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. I saw you. I got you. Yeah, she's gonna go out and come back in. Sometimes that happens. Demita, I don't know what you're speaking of. I don't know what that means. Yep. She's taking care of it, you guys. Oh, okay. Lufa, you need Danielle's email? Okay. Real Massacre Talk live at gmail.com. And tell me if you got that, Lufa. I thought you'd already done it, and I apologize. Or, Lufa, you can message her on Facebook. If you're in the Facebook group, just find her. It's Real Massacre Talk live at gmail.com. Yeah, Sweet Crazy, that is a show that is very difficult to watch. Yes. Yeah, and Rhonda Blackburn, that's one of the things, like when I read Peter Hyatt's latest analysis, and he keeps emphasizing she was a teacher, she was an educator, she worked with children. It's horrendous.
Well, I think I had said on Saturday, I don't know, maybe it was yesterday, but we've seen her public behavior, and all the public behavior that we have seen has not been a pretty sight.
Flattering.
Yeah, it has not been a pretty sight to witness from. Thanks, Doodlebug. From her Facebook post to her video or her media interviews to even the articles from Crime Online that she gave interviews to her GoFundMe's, to playing victim all over the place, and the multiple statement analysis is done over her interview and the way that she said things, and it's all been negative. And you have to imagine that behavior that she's portraying to the public, it had to be worse behind closed doors.
Absolutely. That was when she was on camera. I've said this a million times. That was, in her mind, her best foot forward, her best public image.
Right.
And if that was her best public image, what was she like in private?
Right. Right.
And I'm not buying that she was nervous. I'm not, there was arrogance. There was
Right.
everything else. They are asking if you will read the charges again.
Yes. Yep. One moment. Let me pull them up. The charges are
Horrific.
Christina, if you're listening and you want to come on here too, you're more than welcome. I don't know if you're listening. I know that you're posting.
I know she's busy in the background. My goodness.
Yes, she is. She's definitely digging and digging. So her charges are
Yeah, Shannon, I'm the same way.
okay. So charges are first degree murder of a victim under 12 years of age that was in the by a person who was in a position of trust with the victim. The second charge is child abuse, knowingly and recklessly causing the death. The third charge is tampering with the deceased human body. And the fourth charge is tampering with physical evidence and or destroying evidence. There was a press release from the Myrtle Beach Police Department that said they cooperated with El Paso County Sheriff's Office this morning in the operation resulting in the arrest of Letitia Stauch. She was taken into custody without incident, so she didn't fight or anything. But her charges are pretty interesting charges because they're saying in those charges that child abuse was the direct result, or his death was the direct result of child abuse.
Mm-hmm. Now, can neglect fall under that?
Well, the charge is, let's look at it again.
I'm just wondering if they're covering themselves with she originally said she didn't know where he was, and that would be neglectful.
Yeah, I don't think so, because this is knowingly and recklessly causing the death.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think so.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we were talking about this earlier. I'm not sure how the laws in Colorado work. So Colorado is a death penalty state. Everybody, I think, probably became aware of that with the Watts case. However, Colorado does not really execute people very often. That's just how it is. I don't believe the death penalty is on the table for her at this time, because when they read her charges, they said if convicted, it would result in life without parole. And I don't believe that they can bring capital murder charges without a body. I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong, but I think it is harder to get capital murder charges, which would mean the death penalty, without physically recovering his body. So I think there's still a chance that the death penalty could be thrown on the table. I do.
It just depends on, whether or not they can recover.
And it could end up playing out like another Watts situation, where they may offer her some type of plea, unfortunately, in order for her to give up the location of Gannon's body.
Right.
Unless they have a good idea of where he's at. They may have a good idea.
Right. And a couple of you are saying that charges can be updated at any time.
Yes.
That's true. That's very true. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
More than likely, I'm seeing, I shouldn't say more than likely, because I'm not an expert and I don't know. This is just a thought I'd had in my head. They may, I'm not saying that Harley knows anything, but she was a 17-year-old living in that house at that time. They may use Harley to get that information.
Well, I think even Mandy Girl had brought this up, and maybe you want to give some input, Manda, on this. She brought this up in the Facebook group. One of the admins asked about charges for Harley, because ultimately she said she lied and that she saw Gannon, and then they took Harley's car. What is her role in all of this? Harley did say that she saw him on Sunday. I don't know if we've heard that she saw him on Monday or what she said about that.
Right. We also don't know what she said to the police. It's different what she said to the reporter.
Right. Right. And I think unfortunately, so I mentioned this a couple days ago, just watching Harley's demeanor. That's a good point, Rhonda. That could be why she flew back. That is a great point.
Yeah.
Watching Harley's demeanor just in her vlogs on her YouTube channel, I got the impression that she is a young woman who I don't know the right word for it. It's not that she lacks confidence, but it looks
She's
like
very submissive.
yes, very submissive. And you have to wonder what she went through in her life. And we know that we saw the text message previously that Lena had previously made an accusation against T. We don't know what that accusation was.
Right.
But I just truly feel in my heart and soul that this is a woman that has manipulated. I mean, we've seen the manipulation throughout, like her criminal records and just different things that we've discovered about her. I think this has been her MO most of her life.
I believe so too. Don J, I see your comment. Intimidated, and that's the perfect word. She was intimidated by her mother. Yes.
That is a good word.
Yeah. When you have a controlling parent and you don't go along with the program, your life, for lack of a better word, could be hell. And
Right.
yeah. I'm not saying she knows that Harley knows anything. I'm just saying that's what Tisha has left on this earth as her daughter. She no longer has her husband.
Right.
This is what she has left, and that could be a bargaining tool, whether she's seen anything or not.
Right.
Yeah, Amanda, I agree with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, Lufa. Wow.
Did you get the email?
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that more, definitely.
Rhonda, that's true. When your mom tells you to do something, it's yes, ma'am, and you do it.
Right.
I was just having a conversation about this today with someone else about parents that are manipulators and the way that they treat and raise their children. It's hard for those children to have a good moral compass when they've been told to lie for certain reasons, and they have to appease their parent.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to see chat for just a second.
No problem. Okay, I think True Helper is going to head this way shortly. I have to get him a link.
See if I can get back in here. Catch up. Is Mignon in here? Hello.
She is. Hey, Mignon.
Hello, hello.
Oh.
Yeah, it's true. Some kids just don't. they crave love and they don't understand that there's like a difference between like survival, approval, and you see that in a lot of abusive situations.
Right. Oops.
I think they were talking about Harley when they were saying loved. Gannon was very loved, though. Yes, you are right.
Yes, he's very loved. He's a very loved little boy, and if anything, he's gained a lot of love and a lot of, he's came into a lot of people's hearts in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah. Allison, where did you email? Did you email to, or used Facebook Messenger?
Okay, what did you send? Let's see. Let me look. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll read Allison's message. This is what Allison said. The arrested Locklears were arrested for domestic violence. They're a couple, but I do not know that either are T's sisters, and their charges don't appear related to this crime. I'm not going to read that part. I thought... Yeah, Allison, she is. I'll just reply back to you. I'll reply back to you. I know that DWAP has spoken with Marie as well. I think, so Marie shared on here that T's family members were arrested, and I asked her about it, and I was only aware that T had 2 sisters. The problem is that, so the family in South Carolina isn't getting as information as the
Right.
ones in Colorado. So a lot of the family in South Carolina, they are learning things online. That could have been something that Marie read online, because we all read it online too, and we kind of didn't think they were related, because we have obituaries and everything else of Tisha's family.
Well,
I don't know, but
yeah.
I assure everyone that Marie is 100% Landon's aunt. I have spoken to her many times. I have her phone number. I am on her Facebook. She is Landon's aunt. She's not anybody else. So
Right.
DWAP has spoken to her as well. I mean, and I don't have any communication with DWAP whatsoever, but I know that he's spoken with her because she's told me that she's spoken to DWAP. So if anything, he could back that up too, that Marie is Landon's aunt and
Right.
Gannon's great aunt.
Well, and there's, so you guys know, it's been mentioned before, but probably not for a while. The family members that Danielle is aware of, that's all kind of been confirmed, but there were some issues researching her not Marie's background.
Yeah, not Marie's. Yeah, and hold on one second. Allison,
Sure.
I was just reassuring everybody that, letting people know that Marie is, in fact, her name is not Marie. Her name is not Marie. That's a name that she uses on Facebook or YouTube.
Social media.
But I was really more so trying to address the Locklears that were arrested today. Because I think our team was trying to track that down earlier, right?
Well, not only that, but could never find a birth certificate for Tisha, correct?
Yeah. We still have not found her birth certificate. We have.
She has multiple. She uses multiple names.
She uses multiple birthdays. She switches
Yes.
the birthday
Inverts the
8/4.
numbers.
Yeah, 8/4, August 4th, and switches it to April 8th.
8th.
But her birthday is actually, as far as I can tell, it's August 3rd. Yeah, it looks like. Okay, so the Marie Antoinette that was talking in another chat turns out to possibly be related to stepmom. That's what, yeah, I think Marie was saying that.
That's a half sister.
Yeah, it's somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's somebody. Yeah, yeah, Joe, it's not her. I think Marie may have been confused because you see, she will message me, and I'm sure she does this when she talks to DWAP too. She will message me and she'll say, "Is this true?" And I do tell her a lot of the times, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But you guys have to remember at the same time, this is a family that is desperate for answers. Desperate. Because even Landon and Albert were in the dark about a lot of the investigation. So, I mean, we witnessed Landon stumble across post on Facebook and reshare them asking for help. Like the truck that was shared on a road on Facebook. So a lot of this information is the family sees it and they question it, or they think that it's.
And we know that.
Thank you, Amanda.
We know pretty positively that the family wasn't. They didn't know any more than you guys know. They were finding out things in real time, like all the rest of us.
Right.
So when the sheriff was very tight with this case, they were tight with everything. And the other thing is, I keep seeing Locklears and stuff. I did a lot of research. Now I know there's Rhonda says she lives close or whatever, about the Lumbies, about that town. I sent my sister-in-law down there to use the kiosk because that's how they release information there. You can't get it online, and she kind of lives close. And those are very common names in that area. They are all very closely related. You'll find how many of them? They say that there's 5 or 6 very common last names, Danielle, that you'll see over and over.
Yes, and keep in mind that Tisha is not a Locklear.
No.
Her mom is a Locklear.
Right.
By
you
marriage.
Gotta think of it kind of like Hatfields and McCoys type of thing.
Yes. Yeah. And Tisha's sisters, her 2 sisters that we know of, are actually her half sisters. Yeah, it's
Yeah, Allison Ray, it's hard, and it's going to continue to swirl.
We really try to sway away from that kind of speculation, and there's been many times that I felt horrible for Marie when she's messaged me, because the family has seen a lot of this stuff, and she would message me or call me very upset, and I'm like, no, that's not true, or I would probably just take that as gossip, because people talk on the internet and they like to feel relevant. And
Musty. He says, Internet Detectives 1, Letitia Stauch 0.
No, well, there was not other arrests. Not in relation to Gannon's case. No. No.
Danette, we all want to know the facts. And unfortunately, at this point, the arrest affidavit is sealed. So,
yeah, and I think it's going to remain sealed. It's going to remain sealed. We're not going to know much for quite a while. Maybe, bits and pieces here and there, but yeah, we're not going to know much. I think the priority right now is finding Gannon. Gannon still needs to be found. Okay, Lufa,
Oh,
I'll look at it right now. I'm going to mute myself for 1 second.
sure, sure. Penny Sue, that's a possibility, definitely. I know my other half was before we met in his previous marriage, he was deployed quite a bit, and then probably the last 5 years of his career, he mostly went off for trainings for 2 or 3 weeks or something like that every once in a while, and he always worried about things like that with his situation. You have to be really in tune with the children. It's difficult. It's always difficult with blended families. I don't, I don't know, but well, Wendy Johnson, she's not a real good friend of the truth. That I can say with confidence. Yeah, I think like Danielle said, that affidavit is sealed. It's going to be sealed for a while. I don't think we're going to know anything. I think we're going to hear a lot of rumors. And unless she is talking, and she no longer has a public platform to talk, she did before. She could have talked on her own terms. She will certainly, or at least I would hope she would, have legal representation at this point. Other than causing his death, which is just unconscionable. I'm reading Jewels of Thought. The cruelest thing that she has done other than that was releasing her so-called accidental recording. That is the last time his parents ever heard his voice. In trauma, upset, crying, and distress. And why you would do that, it was disgustingly cruel. No parent should have to listen to that. That should not be the last time they hear their child's voice. Kim Craig, I hope something wakes her up. But sitting in a cell, I'm all for it. That's right, Sparta. The affidavit usually lists the probable cause for the charge, and it will list certain evidence and scenarios and all that. And we remember seeing Megan Faramushka's arrest affidavit. This one is
Yeah.
sealed, so we're just going to have to wait and trust.
They may unseal it after they find him.
Yeah.
But I heard you say the last time that they heard Gannon was that video that T recorded, which is absolutely atrocious.
It is.
And then there's the surveillance video where they essentially Al and Landon watched their son walk to his death.
Right. But she wasn't she was responsible for taking it in that truck, but she didn't release that video. What I'm saying is releasing that, her accidental video was the most disgusting, the most cruel thing she could have done.
So Lufa sent me this screenshot, and it's a conversation that somebody had with T. In one of the last comments that T made in this conversation is, what does that say? Like, to think of the money, something, but the comment that's circled, it says, but yeah, you have to think, no body, so they know no murder charge without a body.
No, she was wrong on that.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, Amanda. And then, oh, I just got an email or a text message that my work has confirmed coronavirus.
They have in Florida too today. It's awful. It's
Yeah, that video was very taunting, wasn't it?
yes.
That video she put up of Gannon as her profile video,
The one where he's waving.
waving and running away
Yeah.
to jump in the water or whatever. It
Mm-hmm.
was very taunting.
Yeah. I know. I constantly hear people saying, she's dumb, or the way she speaks, her delivery, her body
Yeah, she's
language.
not dumb. She's not.
She's not dumb. She's cold. She's calculating. She's manipulating, and she's very smart.
Yes,
I won't
Danette at
mention.
the hospital that I work for, coronavirus has been confirmed there. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say, I won't mention what we were talking about earlier, but we were saying, is she smart enough for that? And we decided, yes, she was.
Yeah.
She was a good researcher. She knew where to look. She knew how to set things up. She knew how to build a dialogue slowly, gradually, add to it. She could make gravy without lumps in it real easily.
Yeah, Allison, I found that very odd. I've said that many times. I don't remember what I did yesterday, let alone to be able to have an excuse and a reason for everything that people say to me. No. I mean, I feel like, and it's almost like her excuses, well, obviously they were lies, but yes, jewels of thought. Yes, the hospital I work for. This is the
Darwin, that is $1 million question, and really, there's just no reason. No reason for a neurotypical person. I would say that.
She's very, very calculated. I know True Helper's got a lot of input on how calculated she is. So, oh, do you? Jewels of Thought? I'll have to definitely check it out.
If you're talking about her Facebook profile video, Demita, that's the general consensus. Yeah, that she did it to taunt. She couldn't have picked a less appropriate video. And I think that's when she had at one point resurrected her and restructured her Facebook profile.
Right. Uh-oh.
What's uh-oh? I don't like that.
Oh, nothing bad.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Ugh. True Helper is on his way. Sparta, that is a weird thing that happens in blended families sometimes, and I agree with you. I had that in my not in my situation with my other half and his children, but I had it with my dad and his wife. She was very jealous of me, and it was weird, very weird.
I found it very interesting that my 11-year-old said to me, I mean, that was his first words, was, did she do it because she was jealous that Gannon's dad gave him more attention than he gave to her? Because Gannon's dad should have given him more attention. That's his son.
Yep.
I mean,
There
that's
is a
coming from my 11-year-old child,
yeah.
and he's trying to reason in his little mind why
Yeah.
a stepmom would do something like that. Hey, Robbie. Um,
Yeah, that's a very wise statement, and we've talked about this before. When you go into a relationship with somebody that has children, like, so if you're married or you're in a committed relationship and you have children, the hierarchy is usually like, partners and children, and then your relationships with them. When you come in as an outsider and you meet somebody and they already have children, you have to understand. Don't go into that relationship unless you understand this. The hierarchy will never be like that for you. It is their children and then you, and as it should be.
so, I mean, it's always possible. It's always possible that she disciplined Gannon and she lost her temper and she couldn't cover it up. That's possible. I don't know, because I'm torn on the whole first-degree murder. That's intent. That usually comes with intent and a level of premeditation.
Well, let's put it like this.
So it could be. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I'm just thinking out loud. If he was able to walk to the truck that day after Lena went to school, she didn't seek medical attention.
Right.
And then somehow he died and was put somewhere. So that was a decision that she made.
Right. Well, the neighbor spoke about Gannon looking sluggish or like he had been drugged. And remember, I had mentioned this to you last night. Like that's like a sign of three things.
Mm-hmm.
There's other things, but being like with a science degree and medical knowledge, that the sluggishness and looking drugged could be three things. A head injury, he could have actually been drugged, or he had some sort of internal bleeding going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know there was blood found in the house.
Right.
So obviously she harmed him. And you would have to think that, I mean, it was like 10:13 or something when they left that morning. I know Harley's work schedule was at 8. She had to be to work at 8 that morning. And Lena got on the bus before 8. So something could have even happened in that 2 hours after those two girls left for the day.
Right. Well, if he had a scheduled doctor's appointment, she couldn't, we've already talked about this. She couldn't take him to the doctor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're mandatory reporters. There might have been something wrong with him, whatever it is. And then it's interesting that when she called the nurses line or whatever that was, the medication line, or, I don't know its exact term, but that she asked how much is too much Miralax. And one of the things that I read about last night, I told you I was going through all the medications that Miralax was contraindicated for and all the conditions and blah, blah, blah. And it could be something as simple as, it's not simple, but having sustained some internal injury, something to do with, his already pre-existing condition, and then like electrolyte imbalances, and that would make him, unsteady.
Mm-hmm. I almost wonder if the whole Miralax was a cover up too.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to try to say, well, I gave him too much Miralax and it caused him to bleed.
Right.
Because, I mean, to put it bluntly, I mean, what do I think she did? I think she beat the shit out of him. I do. And I think that it was that Sunday night, I think that she began harming him. And maybe it continued on Saturday morning. And it's horrible to say it that way. But
Monday morning.
Or yeah, I'm sorry, Monday morning. But I do. I think she beat him. I think she lost it She lost her cool. I could be completely wrong because none of us know. None of us know what she
Right.
did. But for there to be blood in multiple areas of that house, and for some of that blood to be saucer size, that's
alarming.
That's pretty large. And then the way that he was crying in that video
Mm-hmm.
was gut wrenching.
And she was taunting him
Mm-hmm.
with the one more time, pinky promise, putting adult worries on him. Yeah, that no.
He had special needs as far as
Things related to him being born prematurely.
right. Yeah, she did say that in the video. Gannon, I'm going to ask you one more time. I'm sorry, I just freaked out.
Mm-hmm. I'm
That
so
was her,
freaked out.
that was her cover story.
Yeah, and then she thought that the pinky promise made her sound motherly and bonding. And
Right.
oh, we'll fix this together. We've got to
Right.
fix this. That's not, and the way she was going to fix it was not a way that you bond or you comfort a child.
Right.
It's the way she thinks so in her mind. But like her interview, she thought that made her sound somewhat maternal, and it was anything but.
No, it was repulsing.
It was yeah. Okay, Gannon was born prematurely, and ADHD is very common in those children. Very common. And that's not necessarily special needs. It's just a condition.
Yeah, I mean, he had
And especially in little boys.
right. From my understanding, he had a developmental disorder of his sphincter muscle that caused him constipation, which caused him problems with going to the bathroom, which caused him to have accidents. It's not something any 11-year-old boy wanted to have.
No.
And yes, gastro problems.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. But she even falsely stated that he was on medicine that caused him stomach issues. And I don't believe that to be true. If that is true, then I'll eat my words and say I was wrong. That's fine. But from what I've been told from family, that his stomach issues were not caused from medication. His stomach issues were caused from being a premature baby who was born at a little over 1 pound and was given a 10% chance of survival.
Yeah. And the over-the-counter things that he took were to help with that issue. It was not, that wasn't causing the problems.
Right.
Oh, jewels of thought.
Oh.
Yeah.
So would he have been like essentially dying when she walked him to the truck? That's a horrible thought.
I'm not in that place yet.
Oh. And Gannon didn't go anywhere without his Nintendo Switch. And he didn't take it with him that day.
Amanda, that's an interesting comment, and I hadn't thought about that before. You know what I had thought of though is that, I know this sounds terrible, but it was an effort to humiliate Gannon. Because you don't when you have children with those kind of issues, you don't discuss them publicly. You just don't.
No,
You
it's
may
it's
she
humiliating
could
to
tell she could tell the police or the authorities, law enforcement, FBI, but you wouldn't just come out and tell everybody that. That's not, and the phrasing of it is so, in a way, vulgar. But that's interesting you say that. You kind of changed my thought process a little bit.
Mine too, because I never thought of that, because that, that is a common thing that happens upon death. I'd be curious to know if they used I hate even talking about this stuff. I do, because I feel like it's so, but I guess that's what this channel's for. So, I wonder if they used a cadaver dog on the vehicles, on the truck. That's a wonder of mine.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we've said that. That's been a common thought.
Oh, my chat just went crazy.
True Helper is on his way.
Yay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't get past I mean, they physically said that she was abusive towards him, causing his death.
Yeah.
Of course we can light it up, Blue. Go ahead. We would love to
with
see
a
it.
deceased. Yeah.
Yeah, light it up, Blue, for Gannon. True Helper's coming in, so yeah, it is hard.
I have to get up for a second. I may be rackety for a moment. Hold on.
Okay.
When I first came out, oh gosh. Sorry. When I first came out here, it was light. Now it's dark. Today in the dark.
Hey there, True Helper.
Howdy.
How are you?
I wish I could say we were all together under better circumstances, but obviously the news has reached every corner of the country.
Yes.
Truly sad. Truly.
It
And
is.
my heart goes out to the family for sure. And Maria, I know you were here somewhere earlier. And the thoughts are with you.
Yeah, she was comforting me. I mean,
oh, I know.
The strength, the strength.
So I apologize. I was all over the place just now, driving all over Timbuktu. I really barely heard much of the show so far.
Oh, it's just been a lot of chatter, just kind of, talking at different theories. Somebody had mentioned that law enforcement said that they had evidence that Gannon died inside the home. There was talk of a saucer-sized amount of blood being found inside the home, as well as T herself said in her final and third part of her Crime Online interview before being arrested that Albert had told her that a piece of plywood and Gannon's sock were found in one of the searches and they had blood on them.
But that those just flew out the back of her truck on accident.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, I can read that article again. I just need a couple seconds before I can do it. I'll read it again for you so you can hear it.
Sure.
And for anybody who hasn't heard it, because I know people are just coming in and yeah, say Robbie, that's a great point because I know they did seize food from the house. They did. Detectives were seen taking food out of the house.
Of course, they would want to gather up as much evidence as humanly possible, if
Right.
not for nothing else, just to exclude any possible manners or means
Right.
that you may have gone about hurting. You know, this isn't something new either. I was seeing some other chats here and there all across the internet today, and there, of course, there are a lot of theories, and everybody's trying to gather as much information as possible to make the best decisions about what might have possibly happened. But fact of the matter is that the investigators have had her in their scope for a very long time, and I'm sure this started probably right around the time of that first interview, and maybe even before that she had given. So it didn't take them much to find out where her location points were at all times, because obviously, Lord knows, she probably brought her cell phone everywhere where she went. And if not, I'm sure there was some means of tracking her through the vehicle that she took. Yeah, I mean, she was smart in many ways, but in just as many ways as she was smart, she was very, very stupid. And that's why the police obviously got their woman, because they wouldn't have brought the charges that they have if they didn't know it wasn't a slam dunk. And good on them. God bless, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of them investigators, and every set of boots and shoes that were on the ground, and to all law enforcement in general, and not to mention for everybody else. I mean, who knows? There's many times that the investigators will actually look in online to possibly gather some other potential theories. And I know law enforcement usually says they don't get involved in that kind of thing, but trust me, they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll read this article again. I just got to pull it up.
Sure.
Oh, it's so sad. Oh, I said this in my Facebook group, and I'll say it here too. A lot of you are in the Facebook group. To those of you who supported the person who savagely murdered Gannon and even went as far to start GoFundMes for her and helped her create her disgusting narrative on social media for the last 5 weeks, you are as low as she is. And I 100% stand by that. They're still out there. They're still out there supporting her today. It's disgusting. Disgusting.
Well, that just shows how different some people in this world can be today. Heck, just look at the political environment in this country, and that's enough to say that, there are such things as good and evil, right and wrong, and the whole 9 yards. So
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. And even in some cases with murderers and all that, you get these groupies that just fall in love with these scumbags. But again, everybody's wired differently, as they say, God makes us all unique. And yes, we may be in God's image, but we are very much unique. That's for sure.
Well, there's a difference. There's a difference in saying, I don't want to believe in her guilt until there's evidence. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But to go as far as physically supporting a woman who is, I mean, the lies were right in your face. You couldn't ignore them.
Yep. Right when you brought me on, and I started really looking into it instead of just hearing an occasional article here and there, I knew it from the start. I remember saying to one of my associates, I said, this woman, there's just nothing at all right. Like, and I even tried, I always believe in, giving people second, third, fourth, and fifth chances, and even try to believe in the good in people. But no matter how many times I try to look for the good, she would say something else that was either contradicting or an outright lie or something, and especially the big one of the biggest parts is that what she was saying about law enforcement violating her civil rights.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, it stands to reason, because now we know that it all makes sense. She was simply trying to deflect. That's all she was doing. She was trying to create her own narrative and stand by it, 'cause she thought if she spun some, very fickle tale about all these things, that maybe that would lead law enforcement, in some other direction. However, she definitely underestimated them. And that's what most criminals, I guess they watch some of these movies and these murder series and these CSI series and all that. And then they actually start to believe that they're smarter in law enforcement. And let me tell you something, there's a reason why there is as much training, as much time and money that's invested into each and every one of those investigators. And you will never be smarter than they are. And then guess what? Even if you are, maybe you meet that one person who maybe is not up to speed on his or her training, he or she has a whole team of experienced professionals behind them. So
Right.
yeah.
And there's no perfect crime.
Exactly. No such thing at all. I mean, maybe if you go back 100 years or so ago, sure, there are many ways to get away with certain things. But nowadays, in this day and age of technology, techniques, tools, and the men and women of law enforcement that utilize them, yeah, no, there's no way. There's no perfect crime.
Right.
You're not getting away with it.
Right. I'm trying to find this interview. I had it pulled up on my phone and
Oh, hey, Satan Robbie. I love your channel, man. I really do. He's got a really good channel. I like him.
Amy's having audio issues, so.
Oh, I thought I scared her off again. That's just me.
Aw.
Who knows? After I finally show my face, I might scare everybody off. So you never know. Let's see when we get there. Baby steps.
Let me
see. I'm trying to start to read live comments. It's a little bit better.
Yeah.
I tell you, we had some conversations today, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Wow. Just absolutely unbelievable. I was shocked at being on the phone with you when the charges came through. I was like, what? Wow, that shocked me. I know.
Happy birthday, Mojo. Sorry, I'm really behind on comments. Like really, really behind. Amy, I'll drop you a new link.
Happy birthday.
Hold on, my little boy needs me for a moment.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
I might cause some trouble. Lord knows it's been said I get people in trouble sometimes, but I don't know about all of you. Well, actually, I'm pretty positive about all of you. I am a bit content and pleased that this, at least there is some closure, especially for the family now. What has taken place is beyond evil, and I think we all knew. We had that feeling in the pit of our stomachs about what had happened. It's just disgusting that it's now coming to fruition. It breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. I was saying earlier, there's some type of answers today, but I just cannot imagine being Landon and.
No. Oh, she popped off. Oh, hi, Carla D. Sorry, I guess now I'm going to read some chat. Here we go. Doodlebug, Amanda TX gal. Glowing Ember.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry, I booted myself from my own stream.
I was just in trouble again. That's all.
I just can't imagine being Landon and Albert, who, tonight that they know as a mother and a father that their 11-year-old son is dead, and he was murdered at the hands of a woman who should have protected him. But not only do they know that, they don't know where he is.
You're gonna get me again, aren't you? You're gonna make me pause.
I cannot imagine.
Wow.
It's like adding insult to injury. I just pray she talks. Just talk. She has nothing to lose at this point.
Nah, but maybe some light, if there is any to be found in this situation, is that she very well could be right now, and we just don't know yet. Because anything that happens, even up to the point that she has brought up in front of the judge, that you're not going to hear anything, because that part of the investigation is still going to be ongoing, and likewise, so is the confidentiality of it all, or the privacy, I should say, of it all. They're not going to release anything until, it's just like the one investigator said earlier. they're not going to release anything so as to not, potentially cause any ruin, for the charges within this case, possibly thwart themselves in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Absolutely.
And good for them. I tell you what, I've seen a lot of investigations and a lot of search parties in my time, and a lot of these very similar type of situations. And I got to say, I know it was a bit maddening for a while, and a lot of people really were getting impatient, and I was included in that. But now we see why. We see the end game. We see the sum total of what they were up to. And I have no doubts, like I said, they probably knew from day one after they dropped her, her location from her device or devices or any and all onboard GPS that she may have had on the vehicle there. We see why. We see the end game.
Oh, Amy, you have audio now.
Oh, you heard me turning it down. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. Sometimes I think the StreamYard links expire. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like they go bad or something. I don't know.
It's been 4 hours. You go home.
They need they need to bring I don't know, StreamYard needs to do some work.
That's okay. I mean, it's amazing technology as it is. Let's not hex it.
Yeah.
Especially I can remember the days of AOL, so I know.
Oh Lord.
Right? Dial up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'd
I'm
all
gonna
be
find
in a
it.
chat room. No.
I'm gonna find this interview.
Musty was saying something, and I'm not sure if you can hear me. You were saying something about the date on the arrest warrant that I was curious about.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if I read that right. You said it was dated 1/27. Did I read that right? And where, how do you know that? That piqued my interest.
Olivia B. Which source said that today?
Glowing Ember, I feel the same way. As much as it was frustrating not to hear anything from law enforcement, I respect them for keeping it close. Yes, I agree.
And I do too. I saw many times today when they were speaking that they were really fighting it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another reason why, and I know I've said it in another live stream, but I'll say it again. Everyone, no matter what you've had experience-wise with the police in the past, you just have to keep in mind they carry some PTSD like you wouldn't believe, and especially the ones that investigate these murders. They go through absolute total hell.
Yeah, sorry, I was wrong about that. I didn't realize that Colorado got rid of the death penalty a month ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's news to me too. I didn't realize that. I mean, I guess the last really big case would have been what? I don't want to say the Watts case that they considered it and then the family denied it or turned it down. I'm not sure. I think there was a bigger one since then. I can't remember.
There was the one in Colorado, but I don't even know if the death penalty was on the table for that one, where the girl solicited a guy online to kill her. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, yes. Mm-hmm.
They were younger.
Yeah. I don't think it was on the table in that one.
Yeah, I followed that one for a while, but
It's all running together for me lately. Like, it seems like Chris Watts was just yesterday, but it seems like Gannon disappeared 2 years ago. All of it.
Yeah, Amanda, people are tearing El Paso County apart, and I think that is displaced anger because of the 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But the person to tear apart for that is the person who's in jail today.
The person that lied and said he ran away.
Right. Right.
Wait, I'm sorry. That's news to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut anybody off. What do they mean that they're tearing that place apart?
Well, they're giving, El Paso County a hard time because, it was 3 days before Gannon was listed as missing and endangered. He was reported as a runaway. So that's what the cops had to work with. That's what they had. There was a search put in Gannon's phone about running away. They only worked with what they were given. And, people are giving them a hard time about that because of that the first 72 hours of Gannon's case was essentially lost. And that's why the petition is going around for Gannon's law. So that in the event that this should ever happen again, there's a law in place about a child being so young who's reported as a runaway. There has to be.
And the only thing that we know for sure of why that status was changed. Now there might be things we don't know, but the only things we do know is his status was changed because he required medication and because of dangerous weather conditions.
Actually, and then I saw another thing last night. Remember, I sent it to you. Well, and Allison, yes, if you want to email those to me, that would be great. The one thing I saw last night, and this was the first time I had saw this, was one of the media agencies when they did the press conference back when Gannon went missing. It was when they changed his status from runaway to missing and endangered. They captioned their video by saying, based on evidence collected so far by the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, Gannon Stauch is now considered a missing and endangered child.
Right.
So it was said by KOAA on January 30th that evidence had been collected that led to him being missing and endangered and no longer a runaway.
But that had never been confirmed by El Paso County Sheriff's Office, correct?
Right. It was,
right.
Yeah.
That's the miscommunication there, I guess.
Right.
Or not miscommunication, but yeah.
That's what the media said. And, you have to be careful with the media because they do tend to take things and put their own twist on it a lot of times.
I didn't know that.
No, right? They I don't know how many times I've had to point it out in articles to people.
No, that's true. And it seems to me like they've been doing a lot. And I mean, I have respect for certain reporters and all that stuff, but yeah, I mean, when they have a deadline to be met or ratings to live up to, yeah, they
want that click.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and I'd also urge anybody that ever questions about anything about a police officer's duties or an investigator's sheer amount of work and the laws that are come into play and all of the civil rights that they have to keep in mind when approaching it and trying to diligently do their job, to please Google it and look it up, because there are so many hoops that they have to jump through just to be able to protect and serve. Yeah, and it's really disgusting to me sometimes when I hear, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for Gannon's law, I really am. But again, time is obviously very, very precious and valuable. The first 4 hours mean everything in a missing persons case, especially with, somebody under the age of 14, 15 years old. However, they have a huge list of tasks that they have to perform and diligently go through to make sure that they're making the right call, because then they could also face legal liability from the family if something's not right. Then they have their superiors that they have to answer to, and then they have both state and federal governments too to keep in mind. So it's it's a tightrope walk of sorts sometimes, and that's what makes it so complicated.
Right.
It really is. And again, it's another reason why I respect them as much as I do.
Right. Well, we talked about that in the beginning too, because people were saying, why aren't they I mean, of course they had to have evidence, but they wanted to know, like, why aren't they bringing her in every 5 minutes? Why aren't they interrogating her or whatever? She made a case from the get-go that she was being harassed, so they had to avoid
Mm-hmm.
those optics,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
know?
Right.
So,
Right.
Because then the next thing you know, if the cops do intervene too much like that, there are more than a few different ways that she could acquire any defense attorney, and a
mhm,
defense attorney will order a restraining order against them if they are, it's short of them actually bringing charges against her or
right.
whatnot. You know, that's what would happen very, very fast. And
It's
that
like,
would obviously impede the investigation. So they did step off. They wanted to give
right,
her air to breathe, and they knew it. And that's another
right,
reason why I respect. They knew if they gave her enough rope that over
right.
time, well,
She was using the right verbiage for being, what do they call it? Like prejudicial, like
mm-hmm,
treatment. Yes.
mm-hmm.
She was using just the right um,
She wasn't
trigger
important.
words.
Yeah, yeah.
Mojo asked, in the UK you can hold someone without charge for 72 hours. So did they charge her straight away? They did. They indicted her. I think somebody said the indictment was on the 28th. So what was that, Friday? They got it on Friday and they arrested her today. You can be held here in the US as well for so many hours without charges. But a lot of times in cases like this, they want to just bring the charges on you, not the hold. So yeah, she is charged. She's not going anywhere. She will be arraigned in North Carolina or South Carolina. I'm sorry. She will be arraigned in South Carolina, and she will have to be extradited back to Ohio. Oh my gosh.
Colorado
Colorado.
Springs.
I was saying Ohio because that's where her ex-husband died
Yeah.
at in Cincinnati.
She gets a nice little trip on Con Air if she's lucky. She might be
Yeah.
on some weird bus, and then she won't get beverage service. So poor T.
And oh boy, I know there's a lot of people out there today eating their words, that's for sure. I know there was a few different YouTubers, and even a friend of mine was talking about some Facebook channels or whatever they call it over there that were talking a lot of stuff, and mostly pro T, talking about how bad she was being abused, and it was very similar to Shane and Broussard case. It just, yeah, it wasn't right. Wasn't right.
Yeah, I've had a strong opinion on this case. I have. I've never denied that. But anybody who knows me knows that my opinions are based on facts, and I don't just come out swinging unless I know something factual to back that up. So, I said a lot of things about Tisha, and I still believe all those things to be true. Nothing I said about her was untrue. And everything I did state, I based off of fact from research, having somebody literally who helped search for Gannon, speaking with different family members for hours at a time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad there's some resolution today. I'm sad for Gannon. I'm sad for Gannon because I never wanted to be right.
Right.
This was never a case of, being right or wrong in my opinions. This was a case of an 11-year-old boy was missing, and he went missing in his stepmother's care.
Yes.
So,
and the lies started from the first time we heard her.
Right.
And that right there's just no reason to lie if you don't have anything to hide.
Right. I'm sorry that I was right, because that means that Gannon's dead, and it's sad. It's heartbreaking. Thank you, 1 hour drive floors. Thank you.
Well, there were, Danielle, it would have been a low percentage, but there was a possibility that he was alive. You don't owe any apologies for centering in on somebody that's just not credible.
No, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I was right about her, because being right about her means that Gannon is dead.
Well,
You
that's how
know?
we found out. Yes, you're
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
correct in saying that. Okay.
I would take being wrong all day long
Oh,
about Tisha if it meant that Gannon was safe and alive.
of course.
You know, it was never a case of right or wrong or anything like that, but I could not ignore
No.
the facts and the truths that I had in front of me. And I didn't tell a lot of the facts and the truths that I had in front of me, because when people confide in me, I hold that sacred. I don't spread, if they say I am going to share this with you, but you cannot make this public. I didn't make it public. I came and I told what I was able to tell and give my opinion the best way that I knew how. And I don't regret anything that I said about Tisha. I don't, because it was all true. And I have no problem today saying, and this isn't a court of law, this is YouTube. That's the difference. We're not sitting in a court of law today.
Right.
She doesn't deserve my benefit of the doubt. She's not getting it from me. I don't care how I'm viewed for that. I don't care if it upsets anybody. She killed an 11-year-old little boy.
Right.
So.
She killed her husband's son.
Right. Right.
And how telling was it that when this all started, he kicked her out of the house? I mean, that to me just kind of started really resonating very bad vibes immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody does that. I've rarely ever heard of anything like that happening. So,
Kyron Horman's dad, I think he was with Terry Horman for like 2 years or something like that after he went missing. It was a significant amount of time. And to this day, he's still missing.
Well, let's hope that's not the case here.
I love you too. Thank you.
This family needs their baby home.
Yeah. I absolutely. Now we just all have to band together and support the family while they wait for some more answers and wait for Gannon to be brought home. And above all else, I mean, I pray to God that he is found.
Me too.
So that they can give him a proper funeral and a proper burial and lay his little body to rest.
When I was driving home, back to the house, I was thinking about, I put myself in Landon's shoes for a second and Al's shoes. And I was sitting there thinking, I hope that they have an idea of where he is and they are not dependent on this monster.
Right.
Because that right there is a whole nother set of emotions.
Yeah.
That she has that power.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of negativity surrounding all of this. However, I did hear on another channel about her supposedly having a burner phone and all of that. But the good news is the second they took her into custody, which I imagine they obviously didn't announce it once it was at Myrtle Beach or South Carolina there, they took her in without incident. They immediately took possession of any tech that she had at that time. So that too now is being dumped, and they are finding any and every bit of information that they can from that on top of all this. So that's why I believe they're going to have a very, very good, solid case when it finally goes before the judge.
I hope so.
Me too. Me too. I'm just I'm left without words.
I don't blame you for as much as you've been through on this channel and Amy and the Facebook group. I mean, you guys have been at this since day one, and it does get tiring. That's a lot of stress and burden to carry around, for this long, not to mention having your own personal lives off of YouTube. So it can be a lot. It's very, very demanding and stressing. So at least there are finally answers. And again, hopefully she'll do the best thing and just say where he is, and we can put an end to this, and everybody can put an end to this. His family can finally just know they have him back, instead of trying to play a cat and mouse game with her, and her trying to hold that out, for some kind of plea bargain.
Right.
Which, don't get
And
it
I
twisted
think
for a moment. She knows that she can probably do that. Yeah, I'm sure she already probably has some kind of defense attorney, even if it's somebody from the court involved already. It's giving her counsel.
Maybe sitting in jail will do her some good, because I would like to believe that she has some kind of conscience. I know she did a terrible, unthinkable, evil thing, but maybe sitting in a jail cell and being in her own head, where she doesn't have access to a phone, she doesn't have people making her support groups, she doesn't have people helping her spread her lies, maybe she will come clean.
Well, you're a kinder soul than I am. I hope for that. I don't think she has that capacity. I don't. And I just read Save Robbie's comment. He said, deal or no deal, she's screwed, so she might as well spill the beans.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like Tisha is so self-righteous. She's full of hubris. She thinks she's smarter than everybody else, and she likes this control of being holder of the information. And I really hope that she does what you think she's going to do, Danielle, but I don't see her as that kind of person.
I don't think that she's going to do that. I'm hoping that's what she does.
Right.
I'm praying that that's what she does.
That she has a come to Jesus moment and does the right
not
thing.
even a come to Jesus moment, just that her own mind gets the best of her. Because I can get into that whole theory about how people go to jail and find God, because I have a very strong opinion on that. But I just hope that maybe being in a jail cell and not having access to all these people that she was talking to, whether it was reporters or
that gave her the attention.
Yes, that gave her the attention. All that attention has now been pulled away from her.
Right.
So maybe, just maybe.
Well, I will hope for that.
I hope for it. I'm not holding out for it. I don't, I don't give her much credibility at all when it comes to being that. Like,
I see her just like we were talking before. Casey Anthony up against the wall, not giving it up. And then the minute one lie gets shut down, the next lie comes up, and it's like, I'm going to run with that until the hallway runs out again. Stick my hands in my back pocket and say, well, sorry.
Yeah, well, now this time it's in reference to her freedom. So if she wants to ever see the light of day again, which more than likely, hopefully she won't, she'll be haunted, no doubt, because she doesn't have anything to distract her attention. And it takes a long day when you're in jail or prison. That's for sure.
You're right, Irish. Those girls in the jail cell aren't going to have a bit of pity for her, or a bit of love for her. People go to jail for a lot of things, but one thing that is highly frowned upon.
Oh, she'll definitely be put in segregated hold, though. She won't be near them people for now.
Yeah.
She'll be like you. She can pass a note on a cockroach. So.
Okay, what is this? Somebody else messaged this. Okay, so that's what that's from. That's what Allison had sent me. DWAP has an eerie text of Tisha. She was living in a murdered woman's apartment building and was questioned also. In the text, she says, no body, no murder charge. Man, this bitch is sick.
Wow.
What do they say in the South? She's one sick ticket.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no wonder why it wasn't meant for her to be teaching middle school students.
She shouldn't have been around any children.
Yeah.
Well, you have to wonder if that's going to become an issue later after this is resolved with Gannon, because I cannot get past her criminal history and her being a teacher.
I can't get past that North Carolina doesn't fingerprint their teachers.
Yeah, I mean, As a mother, as parents,
Yeah.
Mm.
I've told that to so many people. I'm like, do you know? Did you know? And actually, my sister-in-law was teaching there, and I was talking to her on the phone a couple weeks ago, and I said, do you know? And she's like, oh, yeah, they don't do that. I thought, what the hell?
yeah, as a parent, I want to go ask my child's school. Do you fingerprint your teachers? Do
You
they
can look it
all?
up online. You look
Yeah,
up
I'm
the
going to.
requirements for being an employee, and it should go all the way down to the volunteer crossing guards.
Yes. Well, it should go all the way down to any person that's working within the school district.
Anybody
So,
that would have any access to children. Yeah.
yes.
And as well
Actually,
as
see, this is the difference is if she doesn't, so Colorado doesn't have the I'm getting tongue tied, doesn't have death row anymore because they abolished the death penalty there. So when she goes to prison, she's not going to get treated kindly. She's not going to get a death row apartment where, because that's essentially the hotels of prison. They're in single confined cells by themselves. I would imagine she'll probably be in general population. I don't know. They protect Chris Watts though, so
should probably be like in some sort of modified isolation.
Yeah. They should just let prison justice serve
at least until she goes to trial. And I was saying,
yes, yeah. Let's just get her to trial, and then
just get her there in one piece, and after that, oops. Yeah.
Is it bad to pray that prison justice is served against her? I mean, is that you're probably not supposed to pray for bad things. I get it, but man,
this is a moment where you can forgive thoughts.
Yes.
Really.
I think anybody that has ever been a parent or a step parent or even had close nieces and nephews and all of that understands that feeling. Any person that would do something like this to a child is not only the lowest of low, but should be dealt with accordingly. As far as I'm concerned, it's a good thing I'm not in charge because I won't even say what would happen. All I know is if you're found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, guess what? That's the first and last time people will see you. Bye-bye.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good question, Lufa. Since Al's in the military, is this federal because they have the death penalty? No, because it has to be a military member who commits the crime. She is just a spouse, and she's about to be an ex-spouse. So, yeah, none of the military laws apply to her. So, I'll read you this article, True Helper.
Sure.
This is the third part of her interview that came out from Crime Online, and this was released after her arrest today.
I'm going to mute myself while you do this.
Okay. It says the stepmother of missing 11-year-old Colorado boy Gannon Stauch was arrested Monday morning on suspicion of first-degree murder and several related charges. Prior to her arrest, Crime Online spoke to Tisha Stauch as part of our investigation into Gannon's disappearance. Stauch claimed Gannon left by foot from their Lorson Ranch neighborhood for a friend's home at some point between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. on January 27th. He never returned home, and today's arrest indicates investigators do not believe that he will be found alive. Within days of Gannon's disappearance, an El Paso County crime scene team arrived at his home to collect evidence. They returned several items and were spotted removing items from the residence and carrying items inside. Stauch said she didn't understand how authorities could call the home a crime scene after they saw Gannon leaving with her on January 27th. How the hell is this house a crime scene if he left and didn't come back with me, supposedly? They are saying there is a crime scene with all this blood in the house, which they let people live in during the supposed crime scene for 7+ days. But then a video shows him leaving with me walking. Stauch was referring to security footage captured by a neighbor who reportedly showed her leaving at around 10:18 a.m. on January 27th with Gannon and returning home a little after 2 p.m. without him. Stauch claimed her husband told her about blood found in the home. She denied hurting Gannon and claimed that he would get repetitive nosebleeds that required frequent cleanups. Stauch said Gannon also cut his foot in the garage a few days before he vanished. There are tools, wood, and woodworking in the garage, joiners and saws. If there was blood in the garage, it was from doing activities, Stauch said. Al Stauch allegedly called his wife and asked her why a saucer-sized puddle of blood was found inside Gannon's room, according to what Tisha Stauch told Crime Online. He was taken around and shown different places of blood inside the house. There was some in the garage, but there are accidents all the time. Nosebleeds. Gannon walked around sometimes with blood on his arm from the nosebleeds. Stauch added that her husband told her that Gannon's sack and a bloody 2x4 board were found in the woods near Douglas County. Stauch explained that her family frequently loaded up boards they didn't need from their garage into the pickup truck, leftovers from her husband's woodworking hobby. She claimed that there had been several accidents in the garage which could have easily accounted for a bloodied board. When asked how the board would have ended up in the woods, Stauch said that things have flown out of the back of the truck before while she was driving. She said the same thing could have happened to the board or Gannon's sack. When questioned whether law enforcement specifically told her about the wood or a sack, Stauch said, "Law enforcement have not said one word to me, have not called me." The El Paso County Sheriff's Office has not confirmed the accuracy of Stauch's statements. They indicated during Monday's press conference they would not be releasing any additional information about the investigation at this time. Crime Online reached out to Albert Stauch for clarification on Tisha Stauch's statements, but we've been unsuccessful reaching him. According to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, Tisha Stauch was arrested in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina previously. Stauch previously told Crime Online she left for South Carolina after getting death threats in Colorado Springs when Gannon vanished on January 27th. During a Monday afternoon press conference, El Paso Sheriff's Office said that Stauch is facing several felony charges, including murder in the first degree of a child under 12 in the position of trust, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with the deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence. Stauch is being held without bond in Myrtle Beach, awaiting extradition to Colorado Springs. So,
Her lies are almost as disgusting as her charges.
That sounded like the biggest load of crap that I have heard in probably quite some time.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never had sacks of my children in the bed of a truck that just flew out and landed in the woods. So that just miraculously landed in the woods when they were searching for a missing child. I mean,
Right. I have about 3 responses to that. One, anybody that does woodworking, I can almost 99.9% of people that do that, they don't throw out scraps. They keep
No.
them for other stuff.
Yeah,
they
we
keep them to
recycle it.
shim. They keep them for anything.
Yep.
Second of all, I have 2 children that get nosebleeds, and let me tell you, for most of them, there's some trauma in that.
Right.
Especially when they're Gannon's age, they don't walk around with blood dripping down their arms. And if you're a good parent, you don't let that happen.
And especially enough to make a saucer-sized blood spot or blood
Screw
spot.
that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So
This
when they
isn't
say
saying
a saucer, I'm thinking like a teacup saucer. Is that what they're talking about?
Probably.
Yeah. So I mean, that's fairly big. That's
Yep.
If
Even
it's
if
anything
now I
more
know
than
I've
a couple drops, it's too much.
right.
I was gonna say I know I've bled enough to know that when blood hits the ground, even if it's on hardwood or laminate or anything like that, it's not going to spread out like water. The second it hits the ground, it almost immediately does almost a congealing type of process.
It
You start,
coagulates and it's
yeah,
in a spot.
exactly. Yep, there's the word. Thank you. Words are hard for me right now.
No,
Al-
I'm
hold
sorry.
on one
I'm
second.
Like mad. That made me mad.
Allison, I have to ask what you mean by that. You wonder if she got the nosebleed idea from Amy or myself? Did we talk about that?
I was talking about how my kids get nosebleeds one night. I was.
Okay. I don't.
I hope.
We've
I hope
we've
that's
talked
not
about
true.
so much. So sorry.
And who knows? She very well could have. She's an opportunist, is what she is.
Oh yeah.
Proven herself to be as such.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's kind of like the little trollop of YouTube everywhere. Not YouTube, social media.
Oh, you know who
Everywhere.
I'd like to reach out to, and I probably will go back through my YouTube tonight and reply to her comments. Miss Cabin Life at Eden Springs. What do you have to say now, sweetheart?
Stop. You gonna put parsley on that plate? Gonna garnish it?
That sounds like a woman thing. I'm going to step off of that.
Put that on your Poshmark and sell it. Because
keep them rings on and keep them earrings out. Get to it. That's it.
Oh, Plunder just released a 911 phone call, huh? Let me see if I can download it and get it to my computer for us to watch.
Sure, go ahead. As far as the loading bloody boards and all that stuff, that's just another excuse. Again,
exactly. Yeah, that's all it is. And and if that was the case, you would have told us that from the beginning. You don't do it on an as needed basis.
Yes, and you're 100% correct, Amy. Because Lord knows, I've done my fair share of woodwork and all that, and it's one thing that is not done. You just don't willy nilly go tossing out scraps. I mean, if you go to Lowe's and Depot, you can buy certain hardwoods by the foot in total lengths, 8, 10 foot, that whole 9 yards. After we cut it down for anything, there's so many different uses for it, shims and everything and what have you. But nobody's going to toss out wood like that, and especially if it gets a little bit of blood on it, it usually gets sanded down and or primed and painted anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah.
She just had. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No,
I was just going to say, seems like to me, as has been said here 1,000 times over, she's a very good storyteller, and it seems like she has an excuse for every single thing that had come up at all times, spinning this tale.
She does. She has a bunch of traffic cones, and she just throws them up when she needs to redirect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
she does. And if you have anybody in your family that is handy like that and works in a has a shop or a little area where they work, the one thing you'll find is not only the wood, for God's sakes, they don't. I mean, this is my thing because I'm like rags. Like, God, I can't throw a towel out to save my life. I mean, I need that for my shop.
That's true. It's either that or their dog towels at that point. So yeah.
Well, yeah, dog towels. And then,
multi-purpose.
Undershirts, and I draw the line at underpants. I'm like, hell no.
Okay, yeah. That's a little too far, Edie. Yeah, that's a little too much.
but I mean, it's been suggested. I'm like, nope.
But there's always a gradual, progression. We buy all the new towels and shirts and all that stuff, and of course, it goes from human use to dog use, and then to shop use, and then sometimes they even end up in our trucks and cars. So it's a beautiful thing.
It is. It is. But nobody,
I'll be back in 1 second, guys.
Sure. We have a pickup truck. We don't throw bloody socks in the back. There would never be a time to throw a bloody sock in the back. If somebody had a bloody sock, it would never be in the back of the truck.
Exactly. And not for nothing, but any parent, us parents, any parent in the world for that matter, you just don't take a sock that has some blood on it and throw it out. No, you toss that little thing into the good old washing machine, and especially if it's a white, you just toss some bleach right all up in there, and voila, good as new.
Right.
That's what they got OxyClean for, baby.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah. None of it. It's. I mean, I've laughed at it too. The third time I'm hearing it now, I get angry about it, but
Mhm.
it's insulting.
It is. It is.
It's insulting,
But in a way, it's a
and
good thing because the investigators knew it, and that's exactly what turned their attention to her in the first place. If she just would have kept her mouth shut and did what
Mhm.
any lawyer would have told her to do, she
Right.
probably wouldn't be in the position she is right now. So let's be thankful that she was that kind of liar and talker the way
Right.
she was, because
But it comes down to her character. She truly believes she is smarter than everybody else. And I'm not sure she believes her lies. I still haven't figured that out yet. I think she rationalizes them to herself so that she can maintain some stability. I think I don't know if she has the conscience or not. I haven't decided that either.
Oh, it's a
But
telltale pathological liar. I mean, in a way, she does believe it because she has to believe it because in her mind, if she doesn't believe it, then she's not able to sell the story and thus proves the whole body language thing. She knew
that's
darn
true.
right well. She intentionally stood her back to that camera because she knew in this day and age, everybody is looking to read someone's body language and micro and macro
Mhm.
expressions on their faces
Right.
during those interviews. So she knew darn right well. We actually watched that interview live. I think it was the first time I came on your show. I could
Yeah.
tell just by looking at her shoulders and the way she was
Hmm.
tense and the way she was moving,
Squared
not
off.
just her head and neck, but everything all at once. And it was so class, just so
But
telling.
don't you think the secondary motivation for that was to portray herself as a victim? I can't show my face.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Because and what actually
And that was
supports
very
that is
smart.
because she said about the death threats. So that would support
Yes.
that narrative. So that's
Hmm.
why, oh, poor me and getting death threats.
Exactly.
I can't show my face. Well, not to mention, yeah, that face. Usually I'd say it's only a mother could love. Oh boy. No.
Right.
No, 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 no.
So people that like say, she's not smart enough. How did she get the PhD? I have some ideas about how she got the PhD, but that's neither here nor there. I think she comes with like what we call soft skills, and
Mhm.
she has a lot of um, she's just good at manipulation. She's street smart. She's um, her
I mean,
background. Some of
yeah,
her relatives
and don't
are
get it twisted. You don't really need to have a doctorate type of mind or be overly intelligent to go after degrees and to gain a hold of certain licensing and all that. In this day and age, with all the cell phone and the technology that we have,
hmm
you just have to be at least a little semi book smart and just know how to read and just be able to retain some information from time to time. Because with all these online courses,
or
you're
be
able to
online
get a
from
degree
4
in
p.m. to 8
anything.
p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from anybody that's ever done an online course. I mean, Lord knows
No,
I've done
no,
one or
I
two
have
here
to.
and there, but I mean, it's just the way it is. So she can present herself as pretty much anything, just like anybody else, and you don't got to be a rocket scientist to get there. And
No.
more power to anybody that does that kind of thing. But yeah, she played herself pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's got she she has some soft skills that served her okay for a while. She just wasn't what am I looking for? She underestimated her what she was up against, I think.
Yeah, definitely underestimated a lot, I think. And I don't know. My head's all over the place. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
Um,
I'm all mad now.
yeah, let it out, Amy. Come on. I've been letting out anger for like 24 hours now.
I
So,
know. I told you I hadn't cried yet, and that was going to come later. And I was just numb.
aw.
Now I'm angry, and I got to go. Like I'm like massively full. You don't want to know what I'm doing to these socks while I'm talking to you. I'm like folding laundry like a mad woman.
Sorry, y'all, and this is where I step off. I'm backing out. Bye bye. Yeah. Oh, my mom raised me smart enough to know when a woman's anger is around. I
I
get
wouldn't I wouldn't displace it. I know who I'm angry at.
Right.
And the socks
Yeah.
can take it. That's what they were meant for.
Hi.
Uh-oh.
Actually, at this time, no. We're. Oh. What?
You just started to break up.
Did I?
Just for a second.
Am I better?
Yes.
Okay. Matt, we're not going to post any donation links to the family right now. Sorry. Nothing personal. It's just, that's just one of the things that Real Massacre Talk, we just don't endorse those things. Unfortunately. I think everybody knows how to donate. It's been said quite a few times by this family spokesperson. I won't say her name. Well, I already have. Veronica has made it very clear that information is able to be found. And I'm not trying to be like rude or anything, but we just, yeah, it's fine that it's verified. We just don't do it here. We just, person, I'm sorry. I hope you guys can understand. I'm not saying that nobody should donate. We just don't share it here. So.
Lord knows if something like that did come about, I'm sure there are certain parties that would try to hop all over you like white on rice. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there with that anymore. We've always at Real Massacre Talk, we've always maintained that just because always saying that Gannon is guilty of this, and by no means, but you see this happen a lot in crimes, and of donation sites and GoFundMe's and all of the above, and it's just a liability issue. It really is. And at the same time, services do provide services, financial help to the family when there's a death because of a violent crime. They provide financial support for funerals and all of that. Am I robotic again?
A little bit. And I will say at one time on another channel, we were dropping some links that were supposedly on another channel that were supposedly verified, and it turned out they weren't.
Right.
And it's a mess. You just don't want to get involved in that.
Right.
I know it's hard. I agree with that. It's very, very hard nowadays in this day and age, unless if you get directly with the family and are given an actual link directly from them. There are so many imposters out there and tech savvy people that can create these false sites. And then
even then, and not saying like this family at all, but even then, sometimes situations and circumstances change, and you don't want to get involved in that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but certainly, if you see something and you want to help out the family, they're out there. So, did we lose Danielle for a second?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Looks that way too. So.
Oh, she's back. Oh, and thank you, Mignon. I believe your name is. That was a nice comment.
Mignon. He's our friend from Australia.
What did Mignon say? I'm sorry. Am I a robot again?
No, you sound
good.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. Yeah, I feel bad saying no to donation links. It's just,
it's a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope. It is. It is.
And right now, I'm sure that donations are the last things that they're thinking about right now.
Right.
There will be a day and time for that. And first, they got to bring Gannon home.
Right.
And hopefully, this little evil soul will cooperate. Hopefully, she's cooperating right now to do so. Let's
Um,
just hope that
a,
they are drilling her.
a smile for Don only. I believe that when Marie said that earlier, she was just basing it off of stuff that had been sent to her, and the family had a lot of confusion at the time. I mean, you have to remember she had just been notified that her great nephew had been murdered when she said that. So, yeah, Manda Texas Girl is correct. And the information that was said earlier is not accurate, and Marie just didn't know. She didn't know. She's under a lot of stress right now,
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Well, it's those 5 stages, and I'm sure each and every single member of the family is going to go through them. It starts out with denial, and then you have anger, and then of course there's always the bargaining, and then you got the depression, and finally you'll get to the acceptance. But I think the acceptance part, all of that, they're going to probably be in the anger for every bit of a few months until after he's brought home, and even then it's still like,
Right.
they'll be
Well,
going through it for a while.
you all have to remember too that especially the family out on the East Coast, a lot of them found out through social media.
Right. I called the aunt myself
Mm-hmm.
before she found out on social media. So because I didn't want her to find out that way.
Yeah.
I would be devastated if I found out something like that about a family member of mine through the internet. That has to be a devastating feeling. And I'm sure it's equally as hard when somebody that you've never met in person who has a YouTube platform calls you and tells you. But
Right. But that was a kindness, Danielle.
yeah,
Right.
I totally did it out of kindness because I didn't want her
Right.
to get online and read it and just completely freak out, and hearing the pain is something I will never forget.
I talked to you right after that.
Yeah. Yeah. My heart goes out to law enforcement and anybody that ever has to make those kind of notifications to family. Because after I spoke to one family member today and did that, I realized that I could never, that's not something I could do on a daily basis. I couldn't.
It definitely takes a special breed of individual to do that job.
Yes. Because her heart was shattered, and the people who usually deliver that information are able to maintain their composure, and I was not able to maintain my composure. Everybody heard me when I came on here.
Well, and you weren't there to do anything with the physicality of it either.
Right.
Right. And that's hard.
Thank you, Allison, so much. So much. I'm probably going to wrap it up soon because we've been on here 3.5 hours, and there's really not much more that we can talk about tonight because we just gotta stay banded together and stay proactive and keep Gannon's name out there so that he gets brought home. And this channel will follow this case to the very end and probably after that.
And the only parting note that I would give is for anybody that's been involved, be it through this channel or the Facebook channel or anywhere for that matter, don't ever hold back. If you feel like you need somebody to talk to or need to express some kind of sadness, do it. Because if you let that build inside of you before you know it, it definitely is going to take a toll on your soul. And trust, you don't want to get to that stage because that's when you start developing bitterness, and you'll start to carry that with you every day. And that turns into anger, and anger leads into all kinds of other negativity.
Right.
So you don't need that. Just reach out. And Lord knows there's many people out there that can help. And
we kind of talked about that earlier with the family and victims advocate services and other things like that. And, you know, if they need resources, we can point them in the right direction. But if you're in the chat and you're having these things, there's resources for you too. And it would be normal to have those deep feelings. So
thank you, Joe. Oh, thank you, Irish. Thank you. Joe's saying she has a hearing at 9 a.m. in the morning. So
I hope they get her up at 3:30.
And all of you, yeah, me too. All of you who are thanking me, really just, you don't have to thank me. Thank you for being here and supporting my channel and supporting Gannon and his family and keeping this such a peaceful place to be. This chat's peaceful. It's full of love. And I'm so grateful for that. It's an honor to sit here and talk with all of you and interact with all of you.
Danielle, I'm going to say my goodbyes because I just realized I'm making a lot of noise.
Okay, you're fine. I'm going to get off here in just a second.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, True Helper. It's always a pleasure.
Always, my dear. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And everybody in the chat, I love you. Sorry it's bad news, but she's behind bars, so maybe we can start the next chapter.
Absolutely.
All right. I love you.
Good night. Love you, Amy. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Thanks for coming on.
Sure. Anytime. Bye.
You have a good night.
Bye.
You too.
I get chills every time I see all the blue in the chat because it's just amazing. I will never. Yeah, I will never look at the color blue the same after this case. Ever.
I know, Lord knows I won't. And I didn't really even get that way until I met all of you over here. It was something that was foreign to me until I really started looking into it. And now it's a staple. It's actually, you've used an emoji enough and it's become relevant when it's saved not only in your settings, but even when you go to type it, you automatically think of it for some reason. It's like blue or red. No, blue. That's good. So it kind of, it sticks with us. It really does. And I can't thank all of you enough. This has been absolutely fascinating and heart-wrenching all at the same time. But like I've said many other times, there are many lessons in with this situation that we can learn from. And I'm sure if Gannon were with us, he'd probably even say the same thing. It's got to learn. You just got to learn it. We got to take something away from this, and it can't be all bad, and it can't be all anger and depression and grief. At some point, everybody's going to start healing, and I know the family is going to take much, much, much longer, and they're going to live with this every day. But however, all of us here, we just look out for our own families, protect each and every one, and get to know everybody around us. It's the best thing we can do.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And, like Marie said earlier, when I was very upset, and poor Marie, she was consoling me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is her nephew. She said Gannon wouldn't want us to cry. Gannon didn't cry. Gannon was a happy boy, and he wouldn't want to see anybody sad. So think of Gannon, think of that. And think of positivity.
I can see that.
And, he was just a happy soul. Yeah.
And there's that little face.
A happy soul and a little boy
very strange.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my recliner last night, and for some odd reason, I don't meditate much. I don't believe in a lot of different things, but for some reason, it was just sitting and very quietly and just almost like, I guess you could say I was praying to God. I don't know. I was just kept asking, where are you? Where are you? And I don't know why. It just was out of the blue. And it was his face that I was seeing. And I just thought of mine. And I got so choked up. And then, of course, today when you and I were on the phone and you told me, what DWAP had said, and then, he confirmed on the charges and stuff. I just stunned, can't believe it.
Yeah.
So it's going to take some time, but hey, here we are, all because of that young man.
Yeah. Yeah. On that
But
note,
Danielle, I appreciate you having me here. I definitely do, and I
I
just wanted to say
appreciate
thank
you
you.
coming on.
And thank you to everybody in chat. I know, again, I'm still slacking on, saying hi and following chat as I should. And Donnie Color and Carla D, Raquel, so many were saying hello earlier. And of course, me, I'm a little slowpoke on that still, but I'll get better. And
Yeah.
I know I said I was going to go live and all that, but yeah, trust me, I'm trying to learn from the best, like Danielle, on how to do these things because I'm still off thumbs.
The best. You're crazy. Now you're sweet talking now because I gotta like kick myself off my StreamYard and I go robotic, but I appreciate that. You're kind.
Oh, I think you do better than you give yourself credit for. That's for sure. I can guarantee that.
You're sweet. Thank you.
Hey, at least you talk. And at least you're able to do what you do. You amaze me every time I come on. I see you pulling pages and articles and playing back interviews and all of that. You have a lot of skill. You really do.
Oh, thank
really do.
you. To everybody in chat, I'm so sorry if I didn't see your comment or say hi tonight. I came on here very emotional. Thank you for bearing with me through that because it's been a sad day for all of us. And to all of my moderators down there, you guys are amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much.
You
And
guys
to everybody, yes, they're awesome. And to everybody who has followed Gannon's case, I hope that you continue to follow it with us and pray for him. Pray for him to be found and for his mom and his dad and his little sisters, but especially Lena, that, Gannon was her sidekick. So on that note, I'm going to sign off. True Helper, I'm sure I'll talk to you later. Thank you for joining me.
All right.
And
Thank you for having.
Love to all of you down there in the chat. Have a good night. Bye, guys.